As you see by the title, today we're going to talk about 10 questions that will define the rest of the NFL season. We're going to go across the league, talk about the biggest storylines after week 13, really talk about what we're going to be watching over the final stretch of this regular season. But before we get to that, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to crack open this ice cold DC, take a sip, and let Donovan take it away for about 60 uninterrupted seconds, talking about his fraudulent ass football team that he has the godforsaken right of rooting for this week.
First of all, we discussed this earlier. We are not frauds. We are not fraudulent. I'm pushing back on that word. Everybody for the entire year has said you guys suck, and now that they have lost, back-to-back games, they're like, "Oh wow, you're fraudulent. Either we're good or we're not, right?" And you've been saying that we suck for 12 weeks now. We lost 2 in a row. We are not frauds. We are who we are. We are an honest football team just trying to make our living. That's it. That is what we're trying to do. We are trying to get better each and every week, and we're trying to get back to places that we know that we can succeed. Now, if you would leave us to peace to where we can handle this stuff internally, thank you. That is all I would want from you guys.
What a pitiful way to go out.
Not only did you get pieced up by them boys, the Bears got you. We were in the stream yesterday on T3. The whole chat was saying Bears up, Bears up. How about them Bears?
Bear down, bear down.
On a whole new channel too. That's crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie. That's a pretty pitiful stance from you, Donovan. I expected like actual static, more disappointment, and now you're just so defeated.
I mean, listen, the weekend happened. Patulo wasn't fired. I was like, all right, I guess it is what it is.
I guess I got to commit crimes. Is what it is. I got to burn something down.
Commit crimes. Where were you?
I was here. For
now.
Yeah.
Plan's still in the motion.
Them boys over there, they did what they did, but I was here.
So naturally, we're going to cue the intro music now. We're going to start with the Eagles talk because they are relating to the first question that we have for the rest of the season. Cue the intro music, and let's start Rage Baiting Donovan. So we each have 3 questions. I have 4, getting us to 10. First question number 1 that will define the rest of the regular season as viewers. Are the Eagles good out east? Are the Cowboys on their tails? Are they going to keep dropping games due to a horrendous offense that leads them to lose these games in hilarious fashion against rivals? Or are they safe? Does defense win championships? How do we feel about the defending champs?
I'll let you know next Monday.
Okay.
I'll let you know next Monday because they have a Monday night game against your Los Angeles Chargers.
They do. Against Justin Herbert with a broken hand. So you should be able to get your game off.
It's either that or Trey Lance, right? Either one of those 2 things are the options. I've seen a lot of Eagles fans say if this is truly 2023, then we will get walked down in embarrassing fashion and have our defense collapse on a Monday night against a West Coast team. That happened in 23. We got pieced up. Drew Lock walked us down, ran whoever offense on James Bradbury, and everything goes from there. I think the Eagles are fine just because they still have 2 more games against the Commanders and they have a game against the Raiders. So even if they lose the game against the Chargers and they lose the game against the Bills, 2-3 over this final stretch get you to 10-7. The Cowboys are not going to be better than 10-7. Like they're not going to run the table, and I don't even know. I need to check again, but like for the Cowboys to get to like 11-6, even if they are that, they would still have that. Like it's not happening. It's that let's put that out right now. It's not happening. It really would have to be worst case scenario, and this is also why I'm saying I'll let you know at the end of next week because if they do win that Chargers game, we're fine. Like the division 1 will be secured.
Eagles offense, highest hitch route rate, lowest cross rate, bottom 5 in pre-snap motion, hilarious in 2025. Bottom 2 in play action fakes, hilarious in 2025 as a run first team. A.J. Brown lines up in the slot less than any other wide receiver in the NFL in an era where pretty much every smart offensive coordinator has learned how to utilize their go-to wide receiver in a versatile way to make your offense less predictable and get the ball in your best player's hands as often as possible. Is this the most predictable offense ever? Asks Thomas RP93.
Yes.
Yes.
Simple and plain, yes. And the only thing that would have been more predictable would have been last year.
Yeah.
But it was predictable and it was fun because it was like, hey, we're going to hand the ball to Saquon and you can't do anything about it.
And it will
work. That's when predictable is nice. When everybody knows what's about to happen and you still can't stop it. I was having fun watching the tush push. That's not even 100% anymore because now we're fumbling on it. Nothing is going right. with the Eagles offense. It hasn't been going right, and there's been like bits and pieces. There's been moments. We've had halves. We've had 2-3.
We've had halves.
We've had 2-3 consecutive drives of good offense. We have not been able to put together a full game of good offense for the entire year. And what happened on Friday is the exact situation that you thought would happen, which is eventually the defense is not going to be able to hold everybody to 10 or 13 points every single week. You're going to have to score 17, surprise, surprise, and they didn't do it. Yep. And they weren't able to. And they got ran all over. DeAndre Swift and Monangai looked like Emmitt Smith and Jim Brown and Walter Payton all combined in one. And the Bears did whatever they want in the run game.
No, Jonah Jackson looked like Larry Allen, putting Jalen Carter up wherever he wants. Every single lineman on the Bears is looking exceptional. This is a fantastic showing from them. Crazy to see the defensive line of the Eagles get washed like that. Jalen Carter, Jalen Phillips, all those guys who are typically good run defenders stood no chance against this Ben Johnson run offense. Yeah, man, this was just domination. And obviously, they're ahead enough. They have enough wins. They're probably good to win the division. They're probably not actually going to have to be worried there, barring absolute disaster that you outlined. But the first line I had in my question for them is, does defense win championships? Even if they stay, win in the division, get to the playoffs as expected, stay with a good seed, do you have any hope anymore of a back-to-back at this current construction? Like, obviously it can always happen, but like, is that your expectation anymore, given the state of the offense?
No, it's not. I don't think back-to-back is my expectation anymore, just because it's very clear that whatever problem that there is, whether it be player-led, whether it be coaching-led, it's there. And it's there for this season. And unless you are going to make some type of change, then like it's again, like nothing's going to change unless somebody gets fired, you demote somebody, you make a conscious effort to switch up the things that you are doing, and they're not doing it on any level. And so I am worried that, like, right now my biggest concern is, do not get embarrassed. Mm-hmm. Do not embarrass me in front of my family and friends like you did on Friday when everybody was at my house and had to watch me watch this foolishness, because the Bears, honestly, and like we'll talk about like the NFC North and all that later. Mm-hmm. The Bears should have won that game by 40 points way earlier in that game. They had such a stranglehold on what that game was, and the fact that the Eagles had opportunity after opportunity and they couldn't take advantage, that's a problem. The fact that even the staples of your offense, which at this point the only thing that you 100% know is going to be successful is the tush push, how to fumble, and
that's all you know.
That's at this point, like we've been able to have that play be so successful that every drive is now 4-down territory. And you're seeing a team look at drives and not be able to approach it in the same way because the run game hasn't been there. You are not having the same 4-down approach. You are not able to get easy wins. They came out of the half. The first play of the second half was a design pass to Saquon, and he looks like he doesn't know that the ball's coming to him. What the hell were y'all talking about for 10 minutes? That's a problem. And so every single week, the offense comes out and you do the press conference, and everybody keeps saying, yeah, it's about execution, it's about miscommunications. You guys are together all day, every day, 7 days a week. Please talk to somebody.
Communicate. I dare you.
If we have to send a therapist into the locker room to make you guys have couples therapy so that everybody can talk, like, if that is what needs to be done, then let's do it. Then we actually have to communicate, because whether it's in the play calling, whether it's from the OC to the quarterback, even along the offensive line and the miscommunications that happen there, the stuff that they keep saying we have to fix, we have to talk about, it's not getting talked about and it's not getting fixed. And that's a problem.
We have road signs saying fire Kevin Patullo.
And I agree with this. He should have been fired. And whether or not it was his fault ultimately, again, he is the offensive coordinator, and you need to show something of, we won't stand for this. And if we go through the rest of this year and the offense continues to just score 9 points, 13 points every single week, and you essentially waste a back-to-back season, which at this point, there's no great team in the NFL. There is
Yeah.
no team that is head and shoulders above everybody else. That bowl, that back-to-back is for the taking, and you look scared to go and take it. And that's a problem.
I think we're past Kevin Patullo. I feel like everybody in the greater NFL world landscape is realizing every time Nick Sirianni opens his mouth when he's asked about Kevin Patullo, and continues to reiterate, I'm not doing shit about it.
He said, that's my dog. That's twin. He's here to stay.
Everybody
He's
is
here to
like
stay.
that.
He's
Man.
untouchable.
We're blood brothers in this shit. We're thick and thin. You know why? Because he's running my offense. That's the problem. If I fire him, I gotta fire myself. He's just calling the plays. I'm telling him what the plays are. And he's looking in the mirror and saying, if there's too much attention on him, the attention is gonna be on me. And I don't want you guys to talk about anything else, because if he goes, I'm probably next. And that's, again, we talked about it last week. Feels inevitable. We're riding out this season. We'll see what they can get. Depending on what the ownership and the GM and everybody thinks about the situation, assuming they think the same things we think, feels like a foregone conclusion that it will be a coaching change this summer.
Man, can you guys guess how many 400-yard games that the Eagles have had this year?
400 yards of total offense?
Yeah, total
One?
offense.
2.
1. A singular 1. Uno. That's it. If I wanted to have someone for the first time ever, like, watch the sport of football, and my goal was to have them hate football, I would only let them watch Eagles on offense, and it would be the most boring, most nasty, muckiest, 24 minutes of their entire fucking life, bro. I feel so sorry for you, because at this point in time, like, obviously, like, you guys are still contenders for whatever that means, but in terms of like having real aspirations, seeing you just die down and pipe down every single week, and having to succumb to the fact that, yo, like, the haters are right, you guys are right all along, we were on our high horse. It's sad.
No, it's not. Are you stupid? It's not sad at all.
It's sad for like him, because I've never seen him so like defeated.
You're
mean,
sad
now,
about
now,
this?
now, mind you,
For him, yeah.
mind you, I am one drive away from exploding again. Like,
you do not need to
are
feel bad for
there.
Eagles fans. Do you remember the summer?
I remember it.
We do not need to feel bad for these motherfuckers.
I remember
We need
it.
to cherish this moment.
But the spirit has like died within him.
Good. You can root for the Knicks. Good.
But this is a problem that it's even beyond Sirianni, and it might be like a luring thing, but also, like, for years and years, the Eagles were a franchise that had gotten extremely close, and they never were able to get over the hump. This is also hilarious. I love this tweet. And this is twice now. And, you know, shout out to us for actually like winning championships. But this is twice that the Eagles have won a championship and have not known what to do the year after.
It's oh shit, we got here, yo. What's next?
Yes.
Success by accident.
I wouldn't even characterize it that way, because I think this is all the stuff like
No, it's 100% that way. Because the same,
not known is. I feel like it's easy to say that because it's not working. I kind of feel like a lot of this goes back to stuff we talked about in the first 2 episodes of the show when we started it. And we talked about the offseason in our first episode, and we graded every team's offseason. We talked about the Eagles. Obviously, coming off a championship, you're given immediate benefit of the doubt. Pretty much no matter what they were going to do, they were going to ride that wave and be said, solid offseason. You did what you had to do following a championship, right? But a lot of this really comes down to the talent drain they had. Like, a lot of the ways that they won last year aren't quite the same because they're not as good in both trenches. Obviously, less so defensively now. They have Jalen Phillips. They obviously aren't as good in the secondary. All these things kind of trace back to just like what inevitably happens when you have an expensive team with their specific style of team building, of kicking the can down the road and going all in every year. You're going to have to bleed contracts every year, especially when you win a championship and people want your players, when people give Mekhi Becton so much money because he won a championship, stuff like that. It's kind of just inevitable. And yeah, they could have done stuff along the way to mitigate some of those losses like some teams have. But this kind of happens. It's pretty rare to go back-to-back in the NFL for these reasons. Only time you see that is when it's teams like the Patriots, like the Chiefs, who have one of the greatest coaches of all time and one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time that give you an immediate floor. The Eagles don't have anything close to either of those things. So they're kind of just more like a regular champion team. And this is precisely why it's hard to go back-to-back.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll say with the Eagles specifically is like, especially in 18, that everything that happened after that was a weird situation because you had like the Carson Wentz of it all.
Yeah.
And like he's supposed to come back, but Nick Foles led us through this playoff run, and Nick Foles ended up starting playoff games that year anyways. And so you're trying to do this whole thing. And so you had a team that was also set up pretty well to either go back to back or to be in this like semi dynastic run, whatever that means in NFL terms. And then this is it's kind of the same situation here where you get back to that spot, you get to the top of the mountain. Everybody is praising Howie and like, oh my goodness, like this team building is so great. You are in another era where you can have a semi dynastic run. Like if they do end up getting things together, 3 Super Bowl appearances in 4 years and 2 rings. That is one of those like mini eras that now has to be discussed in NFL history as like one of the more dominant, 4-year stretches and 4-year runs. And if they aren't able to get it together, it is a crazy failure. It's a crazy failure and it's a crazy embarrassment.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, obviously,
it is a
crazy failure when it
is a failure. Especially if they flame out like if they just get beat. Okay, fine, right? You lose every single time. To win the Super Bowl and then not be able to have even the Lions, who are going through a brain drain.
Yeah,
they're not one of the 5 worst offenses in the league.
Yeah.
The same way that the Eagles are, where everything is a struggle, where they are struggling to find anything that works for them. It's not like that. You know?
I think it feels that way. So it wouldn't be, in the grand scheme of things, it wouldn't be one of the biggest disappointments in NFL history.
It would be.
I think it feels that way because you guys, to Mo's point, were on the high horse to convince yourself that this was God's gift to football and that you guys were above the normal timeline of championship caliber teams in year 4, like you said, of a run. This stuff just happens. And you just have a lower floor offensively because you thought too highly of certain elements of the offense that we don't have to get into today. You thought too highly of certain team building aspects that have been applauded for years. And they're just closer to a regular, very good team than they are one of the greatest dynasties of all time.
That's not true. But
really?
Because I don't even aside, even like Hurts discourse aside, thinking too highly of a team. This is a team that even whenever like they went to a Super Bowl 3 years ago and lost it in 22. Like we are in the middle of this whole run, and so
you're not in the middle.
And so
you're not in the middle. That's the point I'm talking about.
You're
towards the end. 4 years is a run, and you thought that this would last forever because it was so good, and it was, and it looked that way. It could stay that way, but it fizzling out as you lose talent is normal.
Forever is not 1 year. And there was and this is also one of the younger defense. Like there was a retooling with younger players after 22 or after 23 that brings you into 24. And so that's where you get this whole thing of like, okay, now we actually are set up because Jordan Davis is here, because Jalen Carter is here, because you drafted these 2, at the top of the league corners that can sustain your defense. Nakobe Dean is here. This defense is still super young. You do have all of these pieces. And so that's why whenever you say like at the end of the run, we literally just got here in terms of this defense being here. So I'll say that even pre-collapse in 23, obviously fluky. We can talk about that. That offense was much better than what it is right now. And that team was 10-1. The defense was trash, but they were still 10-1. AJ Brown had like 6 straight games of 125 yards ever. He was having one of his best seasons. And so you have all of these things. And so to go from that into this is one of the most unwatchable offenses in the league, that level of drop off does deserve somebody to be fired. I don't care if it's Patullo. I don't care if it's Sirianni.
Heads must drop.
Yeah, somebody has to be accountable for it. But I don't think it's insane to say that like Eagles fans were expecting a top 12 offense.
No, it's not insane at all. It's not. It's also, so 2 things are true. It's a disappointment. It's not crazy to assume back to back we all did. But now that we're seeing it in hindsight, it all kind of aligns with what you'd expect given the talent they lost and how much you overlooked it. No, we should just look back and say we shouldn't have overlooked these things. We shouldn't have overlooked losing Kellen Moore. We shouldn't have overlooked losing offensive lineman starters. Shouldn't have overlooked Saquon coming off that workload. Shouldn't have overlooked AJ Brown's age getting probably to the end of the prime. Everything like that all stacks up. The defensive losses they had, which aren't as big of a deal, but the offense is clearly the big deal. It all just aligns closer to we thought too much in terms of them being invincible when they were on the same timeline as every other contender.
But even invincible doesn't mean even not invincible. Like
I see what you mean. When it goes, it goes fast. That's the NFL
like,
though. When it goes quickly.
I understand that. They also like outside of Makai, everybody else came back and like
injuries too on the offense.
This injury. But even Malata's been healthy. he hasn't been good.
Just sticks.
Right? Like he hasn't been there.
But that's another point. Is that you assume year by year everybody will stay the same, even if there's injuries. I know.
All pro.
Again,
Like,
you can't foresee these things, and you guys deluded yourself
crazy.
into thinking you get 100% of the best case scenario, and that never happens. Never happens.
I feel like the way that you're describing it is a very all or nothing, where like, even if we were worse, it shouldn't have been this bad.
I think I'm doing the opposite of all or nothing. I think I'm doing the opposite of that.
No, because you're saying like when it goes, it goes. And like, I get that. Even if the Eagles were like 70% of what they were last year, this is 20%, right? This is 10%. If they were 70% of what they were last year, that is a team good enough to where we can be here in week 13, week 14, and not feel like their offense is an embarrassment on football.
You know what's funny? They can still win the Super Bowl. It's that wide.
I mean, they probably can, but like,
it's so
okay.
funny.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not saying when I say it goes. I just mean because you mentioned the offense being so bad. Like sometimes it just goes, it goes. But I'm not trying to say it's all or nothing. It could be incremental, and you could look up and you assume you're going to be this dynastic team. And there's so many elements in the NFL team, and there's so many things that went wrong this offseason that they thought they could mitigate, and they just can't. And I think that I don't think it's some colossal failure. I know it feels away for you as an Eagles fan, but like
it is.
It's a failure,
it is
obviously, and like that's what's going to be the headlines on TV and stuff. But this is closer to regular than I think people realize in terms of this will happen again 5 years from now, from whoever the new dynasty is. In 2 years from now, if the Patriots build some amazing team around Drake May and they have 3 Super Bowl appearances in 5 years, whatever, eventually it'll happen to them. We're having the same conversation. We'll be, how could they collapse such an amazing roster? How does this possibly happen in a sport with fucking 52 people that have to contribute and a bunch of coaches and all this stuff?
And that's the thing. People don't get there like that. And we did. And so like they clearly were at least above, obviously not like Chiefs level, of a dynasty.
They're up there.
But you're getting there. You're starting to force your way into those conversations. So they are a little bit above what everybody else is. And so your standard is obviously different than the Lions standard or like the Seahawks standard or whatever it is. And they haven't met 10, 15% of that. And so it is a massive failure if they don't even, like, if they don't get to the second round, if they lose a playoff game in the first round, it's 100% a disappointment. Yeah. And it should be like a stain on everybody's resume if that happens.
Tough. All right, that's our Eagles talk for today. Mo, what is your next question that will define the rest of the regular season?
My next question that will define at least not the regular season, but the rest of the NFL teams, but for the Cleveland Browns specifically, because what they do doesn't really fucking matter.
Oh boy, my bad. Hold on. I'm gonna put the watch on my Apple.
All right, go ahead. Hurry up. Can Shadeur Sanders convince the Cleveland Browns that he is the quarterback for the future? Can he convince them that you guys don't need to draft another quarterback?
No. Probably not.
In these 2 games, he hasn't done anything that's convinced you that this guy could be worth buying into the future. I
think no. In terms of the question is, are they going to draft the quarterback at the top of this next draft? They traded out of the Travis Hunter pick last year and have extra picks now, and they have the capability of trading up pretty much with whatever they want, whatever it takes to get to 1 or 2. They can probably be the one to do that if they so choose. Do I feel like Shadeur Sanders in 2 games has convinced me that I should not go for Fernando Mendoza or I should not go for whoever quarterback they like at the top of the draft? Probably not. Like through 2 games, definitely not, especially after this last game where they faced a completely neutered 49ers defense and couldn't really get anything going against a pass rush that's almost non-existent these days. What do you have to see, though, for these next 5 games to actually be convinced that, no, I'm not drafting a competition at least?
You have to turn into one of like, legitimately one of like the 15 best quarterbacks in the league
in 5 weeks.
Oh,
shit.
In 5 weeks, 100%. Because what we're talking about is a 5th round draft pick.
Yeah,
and a team that did not want, for the most part, did not want him on the team, and that it wasn't, or at least wasn't a unanimous decision of we're going to bring Shadeur in, he's going to be our guy. They drafted a quarterback 2 rounds earlier in Dylan Gabriel. And Shadeur wouldn't be playing right now if Gabriel hadn't gotten messed up. And
not to mention Gabriel's still there. They're not going to cut him after 1 year. So like there's going to be 2 more quarterbacks there. Like it'll be very hard for him to make it definitive that I'm that guy. Not pick another person.
You have to ball out, because he was at a disadvantage is the wrong word, but like he was in a position to where you really do have to overperform what people thought of you for them to actually believe that you are a good player. And he hasn't done that. In the first game, he literally proved everybody right. Of all of his worst traits of holding on to the ball too long, is escaping out of the backfield, just getting the snap and dropping 20 yards back, right? Trying to spin out of everything. That's a problem. They were up in that game and they lost the lead with Shadeur at quarterback. Those things can't happen. And so until he's like, if they win the next 5 games and he is throwing for like 225 and cuts down on the turnovers, that's probably what it's going to take, and that's not going to happen.
Not even cut down on the turnovers, really. In my mind, when I watch him play, it feels like he's playing to not get any turnovers and almost over analyzing the game and trying to play this uptight, super like he's like not anticipating making any big plays at all. And I feel like that's kind of like the opposite of what he needs to do currently. From what I've seen over these last 2 games, it feels like he's just not. Of course, he's not making throws. He's not making anything timely necessarily. But what gives him like a fresh breath of air, which is what Dillon Gabriel wasn't able to do just yet, is there's certain passes in certain areas over the field that Dillon Gabriel just isn't his bag, at least not right now. And I think if he's able to have more flashes and give the offense a little bit more burst, which he had an opportunity to. I think it was in the 4th quarter of that last game against the 49ers. He hit the back right field, and it wasn't a touchdown or anything like that, but it was an opportunity to glance a glare of a spark of life for the offense. I'm not saying like, they shouldn't go ahead and draft the quarterback. You should regardless. It don't matter what he does for the rest of the year, in my opinion. But I think he has a slight opportunity to have everyone double think.
Yeah, I mean, he has, 4 or 5 weeks left?
Yeah.
To convince everybody. They said he's going to be the starter for the rest of the season, pretty much. He didn't exactly say that, but they said he's going to get an extended look. He's going to get his chance. Sounds like the last 5 games is an extended look, so he'll certainly get the opportunity. He's certainly shown things that Dillon Gabriel can't. He gets out the pocket a little bit better. He's obviously bigger, can stand in there a little bit better. And just eye test, he looks like more of a prototypical quarterback because he's not 5'9", noodle arm. So like, there's reasons to get excited as Browns fans. I'm sure they're enjoying this experiment a little more than the Dillon Gabriel phase of the season. But yeah, you'd have to see something wildly out of our expectations to say don't draft an elite quarterback and you have a unique opportunity to with extra picks.
Especially, because you have the extra picks. The picks that you made this year, listen, it's looking good, right? Mason Graham looks good.
Besides wasting a third on Dillon Gabriel.
it's whatever. But Mason Graham looks good. Carson Schwarzenegger looks good. You have pieces that now, even as like Myles Garrett, who is like getting older, is having the best season of his career.
You might try him this summer if you want, maybe.
You can't do that. They probably should have did it last year, but whatever. But you have a way and you have a window to where if you squint, you can kind of see the pieces of a foundation into an actual NFL team. And so with that, if you want to go ahead and draft a quarterback, okay, cool. If they don't go quarterback this year and they do say, you know what, Shadeur, like we're gonna see what we have. Same thing with Gabriel. We'll figure it out, and you keep building the pieces around it, and then you try to go and make another run soon. I think I'd also be okay with that.
Yeah, that's not bad optics. Like,
are you kidding?
Shadeur would make.
I'm not a fan of the Browns, so I'm like okay with like not having a quarterback.
If they decide to do that and they don't draft a quarterback, or I'm assuming in this scenario you're also not bringing in like a veteran that can start, and you're just going with Shadeur and Dillon Gabriel.
No, okay, true.
If that's the case and you're just rolling with them, you're tanking again next season.
I think you're going to be tanking regardless if you don't address that O-line in your like wide receiver room regardless.
Stefanski, welcome to unemployment. If they run that back and don't bring in another quarterback. That feels like you're.
Well, he might get fired this year.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but we'll see. But that feels like maybe they try to sign a bridge starter that could potentially start and then like have a competition like they did this year. But maybe somebody a little bit better than Joe Flacco. I could see that. I guess.
James, you want to come back to Cleveland?
Yeah.
I guess that would be understandable if they did something like that. Maybe James could start, but.
Is this going to end up with Russell Wilson?
God, no.
This is going to end up with Russell Wilson on Fox broadcasting games. That's what this ends up with.
Okay, thank God.
Next question that will define the rest of the season. This one, had the number one thing I want to talk about has been on my mind since this weekend. Will the winner of Bryce Young please stand up? Because I do not know who Bryce Young is anymore. I haven't all season, and he continues to confound us. He has had, we've been saying this for the past month, that this is the most up and down season I can remember from a young quarterback who we're trying to get a gauge of how good he is. we came into the season as, I think, a pretty optimistic group in terms of what we think about Bryce Young. We expect the Panthers to contend for a playoff spot. We said the end of last year was real. He's making strides. Dave Canales is a good coordinator. They got McMillan. They have a good O-line. The system is in place for him to be good. Season started, had some flashes. We got to the midseason mark and we said, God damn, the lows are fucking terrible. There's been like 3 games they scored less than 10 points. It feels like we're looking at a backup quarterback that just probably could start for you in certain scenarios if everything's right, but probably isn't the foundation we should be planning on building around for the next 10 years. And then he proceeded to have the best game of the week, the top EPA per play against the Rams. 0.63 EPA per play. He outdueled Matt Stafford, came clutch time after time. With this and the Green Bay win, they have 2 of the best wins of the season, combined with like 3 of the worst losses of the season offensively. We cannot exaggerate how up and down this season is and just how up this week is. What can we possibly think about Bryce Young right now?
One, Bryce Young, thank you. Because you saved our chances for the number 1 seed. Much appreciated. I think for Bryce, it's hard to pinpoint what to take away from it because it really is. You know what? We'll figure out next season. Because clearly this is just part of the maturation process. It's part of the progression. And we talk a lot about how progression is not always linear. Mm. And Bryce Young is proving that this year, right? He has had, like you said, really, really good moments, has to go back down. We're trying to see on a week-by-week basis if we can start stringing those things together. If we can take the good parts and the good moments of this year, like the Panthers are in the hunt, could potentially make the playoffs. If they do that and you have all of that experience, you have all of these moments, now that we are another year removed from, what last year was, can we continue building and can we get like the actual Bryce Young? Because even coming into this year, we kind of accepted last year was, hey, we had to reset expectations. And it really was, we are starting from ground zero because of how bad last year was. And now we can get an accurate idea of what Bryce Young is as a quarterback. So if you're looking at this as year 1 instead of year 2, year 3, then that's okay, and I'm fine with that.
Well, I'm not looking at year 1. I'm looking at it like it is what it is, and pretty soon we're going to decide on a contract for this guy, and he has ice in his fucking veins. This game, he had 2 of the best throws of the week, getting 2 long touchdowns. Both are on 4th down. The entire game, they got to 30 medium, and they said, we're going to run the ball. What do we have to lose? We don't know what's going on with our season. We're going out swinging. We're going for it every 4th down. We're setting up 4th and short, and we're going to let our offense try to win. And he did repeatedly. He had a 40-yard touchdown to Ted McMillan on 4th and 2. That was a dart. He had, I think it was a 30-yard touchdown to Coker on 4th and 1 or something like that. It was a dart. Repeatedly in this season, between the insane up games and the insane low games, he's had some nice medium games where the first half is god-awful, and then he pulls up his shorts, sits up in the chair, and goes crazy for the 4th quarter. This much is true. It's clearly apparent that he does have a mental strength to him that shows in 4th quarters and also shows in his ability to process, ability to stay ahead of the sticks, do all the stuff that we thought would make him a good quarterback, being this like between-the-eyes prototypical quarterback that can diagnose the defense, can throw with anticipation, do all the things that would make him CJ Stroud if he was big, but obviously the physical limitations are the physical limitations and have held him back at times. If they can protect him like they could in this game and stop that Rams defensive line from wrecking the game like they did, he obviously is capable of dicing up a defense. It just gets sticky whenever you can't protect them.
What's so irritating about this whole thing too, and even more confusing, and when it comes to thinking about Bryce long term specifically in terms of like, is this guy our future, is that this roster overall feels ready to compete. Earlier you said that they were in competition to make the playoffs. Brother, at this point in time, they're damn near about to win their division because of what's been happening over there in Tampa. And so, bro, their offensive line is solid. Their run game they have one of the better back duos in the entire league. I'm not saying they're top 5 or anything like that, but very quality. The receiving room and core has been getting better and better every single week. I think his name is Michael Brown, their defensive end. Stud, amazing. They're fucking really, at least defensively, they're fucking MVP. They're ready all around. And to see Bryce Young go ahead and struggle and have like the worst games and be like one of the main reasons why your team's scoring 6 points, 7 points, 9 points. They have so many single digit games. They're either scoring like 9 points a game or it's fucking 33. There's no in between at all.
Yeah, Derek Brown is all pro. People don't pay attention to him because he's a defensive tackle, which is a position that doesn't get a lot of glamour, and he plays for Carolina. Derek Brown has been one of the best defensive players in the NFL this season. Him getting back from injury this season and being there 100% of himself went so far to correcting the defensive woes they had last year as the worst run defense in the NFL. He's an unsung hero. The offensive line is an unsung hero. There's so much motion going on right now around Bryce Young that if we can figure out, if he can string together good performances the rest of the season and prove that once again we can feel good about him going to next year like it did into last season, there's a lot to be excited for. And hopefully that means they can get him on an affordable contract because of all the inconsistencies and up and downs. Because, you know, there's a problem right now. There's like quarterback inflation where like all these mediocre quarterbacks are making $60 million a year. So like, damn, it's hard to stomach the bad Kyler Murray games when he's making so much of our cap. If they can somehow be the one team to right those wrongs and get Bryce Young for $25 million, $30 million, whatever it looks like, which that's really not too bad for the quarterback market. I mean, Daniel Jones signed for $14 million coming off of nothing.
No, it's not. I'm saying I'm making that face because I don't think that they're going to be able to get him on a deal like that.
Oh, you think it'll cost more?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if they can get him on a medium-sized deal like that, then maybe I see a vision.
Yeah, and the thing about this is like, this is the picture perfect way of how you think that a Bryce Young win is going to go, because they started off 14-0 and they had a pick six from Matthew Stafford. The defense caused three turnovers. The Rams had a chance to even still win this game, and the defense was able to get a strip sack and get the ball away. So even with those three turnovers, they were still in this game. But because of those plays on fourth down, now you're able to once again extend this game and really take your talents and put those on forefront. I don't know if Bryce Young is ever going to be like, and at this point I would bet against it if he's ever going to be like top 4, top 5 guy.
But, like at his position,
the bar's much lower than that.
Yeah,
the bar's much lower.
Obviously, when you draft somebody number 1 overall, even with all the ups and downs that you have, that's still in the back of your mind of like, we hope that this guy can get there. I don't think that that's going to happen, but if we can get to that tier where, you know, top 12, top 13 on any given day, you know, is this the 8th best quarterback in the league, right? If we can get there with Bryce Young, then the Panthers definitely have something, and he will be worth whatever money that they end up giving him.
This team is good, man, all around. I think, now I think about it fully, they have up and down like probably the best roster, or at least they've been playing the best all around, outside of like, of course, he's not better than, what the hell's, What's Tampa's quarterback name? Like,
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield. Yeah, he's not better than him, obviously. But all around, their roster's so deep in quality.
Yeah, no, they have pieces. And again, if they can nail this situation and Bryce Young proves himself for the next 5 weeks and gives them reason to be happy, Panthers fans should be feeling good. Either way, Panthers fans should be feeling good after this game. Take your ups when they're there. Enjoy the highs.
Yeah.
Still TBD. I don't even know if I should get excited anymore, because I just feel like we're going to see a stinker in 2 weeks, and I'm going to once again be like, I got to sell my Bryce Young stock. So this probably just comes to territory of being an inconsistent quarterback with clearly more weaknesses than his peers, while also having as many strengths as his peers. This probably is the experience. We'll get exciting times. We'll get down times. It's up to him and the coaching staff how much they can utilize the highs and protect him and get the best of him.
We will say that pretty soon. They have a game against the Seahawks pretty soon. So Bryce Young will probably look somewhat, you know, less than ideal in that game. But their last 4 games, they have a game against the Seahawks. They have a game against the Saints. Then they have 2 games against the Bucks. The Panthers are 7-6. The Bucks are 7-5 right now. Like you said, it would, from where we were in the middle of the season, it would be extremely shocking if the Panthers came out and won the NFC South. But we were very high. Like, it's just it's a roller coaster, and we got back to the point where we thought in the offseason where it's like, if you squint your eyes, if all the defensive additions happen, if Bryce Young makes, you know, a small leap, maybe we can get the NFC South. We're kind of on track for that.
This is a sick ass roller coaster, man. I don't want
It's crazy. I don't even. Who knows what to think? I'm excited to find out though.
Yeah.
Donovan, what is your next question?
My next question is about the team that beat us.
Okay.
Can the Bears continue to do what they did on Friday, and can they shock the world?
Okay. Are they frauds, or are they the next up and coming great team?
Yes. And I think to say shock the world, we have to define what shocking would be for the Bears.
I think if they win 2 playoff games,
if they get to the conference championship,
that'll be
first
so
off,
shocking.
Before we get there, if they retain the 1 seed, if they finish out this regular season and stay there, that would be shocking as hell. Because not only are they winning the division, but being the best team in the NFC that they are right now, we never once discussed that as a possibility. When we did our predictions before the season, we talked about we believe in Ben Johnson, we believe in the additions they made on the offensive line. If they're healthy, their DB room is very, very good and can bolster it at least average to above average defense if healthy. We know what they have with their skill positions, with the wide receivers, the tight ends in that room now. If Caleb Johnson, it's not Caleb Johnson. Didn't I do that several times a few months ago? Yeah. If Caleb Williams can be good, at least, not even great, we said they had the potential to win the division as like a high end that we're not going to predict, but it's obviously in the cards if you do have a star quarterback and a star offensive coordinator. Winning the division is like 2 less wins than they have now. We're aiming so high above that now, aiming for the 1 seed. Like that would shock me in itself.
They can do that. They have 2 games against the Packers. They face the Bears. Oh, my bad. They face the Browns, the 49ers, and the Lions. Feels like they could.
And that's not an easy schedule.
Yeah,
that's not an easy schedule at all.
But also, it's not impossible.
Yeah, they could. So that would be shocking. Obviously, winning a playoff game, I think, would be shocking. Like, this is the conversation people are having, maybe less so after beating the Eagles, but especially before that, is like, this is one of the worst 1 seeds of all time. Like, all the advanced metrics say they're an average team swinging above their head.
Yeah.
Which,
it still
understandably,
would be. It still would be.
Yeah, they still are a bad defense that's winning with an offense that's slapping the ground, pulling the shorts up in the fourth quarter, but winning in spite of the passing game while having an insane running game. Like, there's a myriad of flaws. But listen, man, we have 5 weeks to fix those flaws. What if the offensive game, passing wise, just gets going by the time playoffs come and they're just clicking all cylinders and get healthy defensively, and maybe they are a league average defense and not bottom of the barrel? Things that get spooky.
So it can get spooky. I think the best case for the Bears to win a playoff game or to make a deep playoff run is one, you get the 1 seed and you eliminate the wild card game altogether, and then you only have to. That honestly would be crazy if you had a game at Soldier Field to get to the conference championship. That would be crazy. And so, like, for the Eagles, whatever offensive issues that they have this year, it doesn't really matter. That's the issues that they have this year.
Yeah.
I feel the same way with the Bears, where I don't really care what they're doing defensively, because whatever they're doing this specific year to create all these turnovers, to take advantage, whatever mindset that they are, that's happening. And so, like, I feel comfortable looking at them, especially this late into the season, and saying that is a part of your defense, and kind of counting on it that they will be opportunistic, that they can create turnovers. And so if you are getting those extra possessions to make up for a lot of the inaccuracies of Caleb Williams, then that's fine. And if you can go ahead and run the ball on anybody you choose to, that's also, like, running the ball and creating turnovers. We're getting real football in here.
Yep.
And, like, that's the way to win.
That right side of Dahlman, Jonah Jackson, and why am I blanking out? Darnell Wright, incredible. We have the chart here showing their abilities to run to every side, and then Joe Tooney at left guard. They are just a fantastic run blocking unit. Ben Johnson's one of the most brilliant run designers in the NFL. Imagine what's going to happen next year if they draft an elite running back in the first round. If they go get Love or sign somebody else a little bit more talented, or maybe even don't even need that. Maybe Swift and Monangai are just completely fine. There's levels that this run game can rise still, and there's obviously a ton of levels that the passing game can rise as Caleb Williams continues to develop, as the young receivers like Luther Burden and Colson Loveland continue to develop. I think both those guys are clearly going to be very, very good at the very minimum. Maybe superstar in case of Loveland. We'll see. I don't know if this year, if they're going to be making serious noise in the playoffs or not. Obviously, they can. They didn't win these games for no reason. But I feel every reason to believe this team's future is insanely bright. Next year, they're going to be insane.
I agree, because I think the leap that's going to happen for them really is, like, if Caleb Williams can get somewhat accurate on as a passer, this is a team that can dominate the NFC for, like, years.
Yeah,
and,
we'll
like,
see.
and really, really get there, and then you can actually play complementary football on all 3 phases. And it's not happening right now, but it doesn't disqualify them at all from being one of the top teams or the most dangerous teams, because they've proven that, hey, listen, you mess around in the second quarter, you mess around in the third quarter, if you don't kill us, we're still going to be here. And we are finding ways to just be in position to win these games. And so they do have the ability to shock, to shock somebody.
Mo, what is your next question?
To simply put it, what the hell do the Minnesota Vikings do? Because right
Pray.
now, I was told, before the season started, I was told Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the league. I was told he's been on a historic run over these last few years. I was told that this offense has real weapons. This defense is solid. I was told, Adam Thielen got traded for what, a 4th round pick just a couple weeks ago or whatever, months ago now or whatever. Dude, he just signed off those waivers. He's gone. Traded him. He just left for nothing. Justin Jefferson looks real pedestrian. This quarterback who a lot of people were very skeptical on for good and bad reasons has done absolutely nothing. They killed Carson Wentz just a couple weeks ago. Max Brosmer had the worst interception I've ever seen live with my own 2 eyes. What do you do at this point in time? Because you have one of the most expensive rosters in the entire league, proven head coach, but at the end of the day, none of this shit matters when you have the worst quarterback situation in the league.
You go put a guardian cap on JJ McCarthy and you say, give right back out there. That's it.
I think their GM might be in trouble, depending on how the rest of the season goes. If they continue to spiral. Listen, man, that Adam Thielen trade was garbage. Giving him a 4th round pick, they essentially exchanged 5th round picks, pushed their 5th round pick back 1 year, and then turned a 4th round pick into a 7th round pick. Mm-hmm. That's a good amount of value for Adam Thielen, who gave you jack shit. And it wasn't like, I guess in the moment, it was like, all right, I guess, type of reception to the trade. It wasn't talked about as being atrocious, but nobody was like, hell yeah, Adam Thielen. Yeah. It was like, we'll see, I guess. That hasn't gone well. We talked at length about the quarterback situation. Not only do you let your backup in Daniel Jones walk, which is fine. Nobody really hates that, but, he's playing well now. You let Sam Darnold walk. Oh, my God. JJ McCarthy is worse than we could have ever imagined. That Sam Darnold thing immediately becomes the biggest mistake of the offseason, potentially. Mm-hmm. There's so many things piling up now. I feel like they completely misread the point of the roster, misread what they need from the quarterback position, from the receiver position. They also drafted Ty Felton, which hasn't done anything. There's been so many swings and misses on the offensive side of the ball this summer. I kind of feel like it's might need, and people might be calling for a job soon, whether or not it's right or wrong. That feels like it's on the table.
I'm gonna give him a little bit of grace just because they also like lucked into the Sam Darnold situation because JJ McCarthy would have started last year. If you take a quarterback that high, like he's gonna start eventually. And so, but the fact that he gets hurt, now Sam Darnold comes in and he plays well, and now you put into this like really weird position of like now we have to choose. So okay, like it is what it is. You have to make do with what you have, but you get one more chance. You get one more chance. This being this bad is not on the GM.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so it's not. Everything makes sense. Most NFL moves.
It is because like you picked him, but like also
you picked him and you let the other guys walk, and like everything makes sense in an NFL offseason for almost every team in the moments. We hardly ever come up here and say these guys are fucking stupid and shouldn't have done this. There's always a logic there. The logic is obviously clear. 1st round pick, quarterback, we're going to give him a chance, hand the reins to him. We're not going to pay this other guy because we believe in him. We wouldn't have picked him if we didn't believe in him. So why would we not give him the keys now when we could save money and then go sign Jonathan Allen, go sign Hargrave, and do all this other stuff with the money, right? That always makes sense. You have to judge it in hindsight. Like, you have to see how these, especially with the quarterback position, something this important, like, yeah, it was understandable. Didn't work out at all. It's on them to have a good idea if JJ McCarthy's going to work out or not, if he's ready or not. And coming off an ACL tear, like, it's easy to look back now and say, we probably should have gave them more flack for that. We probably shouldn't have been as understanding. We probably shouldn't have assumed JJ McCarthy would be good just because he's a 1st round pick. We probably should have had a better backup plan than Carson Wentz at the very least.
But we had to find this out though.
Sure.
Right? Like we drafted him last year. It's not like he was in this draft class and they said we're gonna let Sam Darnold walk now and then draft this other guy and replace him. He was already in the building. So it honestly might have looked worse to a lot of people if you had drafted somebody in the top 10 at quarterback and you sat him for 2 years behind. And granted, he played really well, but still for Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Well, guess what? You know what also would have sounded weird to people and would have been raising some eyebrows? Never giving Trey Lance a start. Never giving him a chance. And what do you know? It worked out. I don't think anybody's clamoring for maybe we should have gave Trey Lance an opportunity. Sometimes you have a guy that's not a guy, and it's on you to have a good backup plan at the very least. And Carson Wentz is clearly not a good backup plan. Like, I obviously, the Seahawks gave Sam Darnold a 3-year contract. They weren't trying to do that, so they lost him. That's fine. Like, stuff like that happens. I'm not suggesting they should have gave him a 3-year contract. Like in hindsight, actually, no, I am suggesting in hindsight they should have. But I at least understand that part. I cannot understand not having a single better backup plan than Carson Wentz.
Phone call. Jameis, do you want to come to Minnesota?
Probably. Low key, probably.
Man.
That's probably going to be the type of thing that to do this summer.
I'd rather have
Flacco,
Mac,
you want to come to Minnesota?
I'd rather have Mac Jones, I think. But is it worth it for them to go ahead and the only way to get him is like through a trade?
No, those
Is
are
it even
free
worth-
agents. They can get both those guys.
Yeah,
But they're
they
mad
have
expensive though too.
Nah, they won't be.
they have to go and they have to make a deal because, like you said, the pick that Mac Brosmer threw was one of the worst picks ever, and it is like it's understandable. Everything with the Vikings that I'm looking at, especially offensively, it's understandable, but it's also like it's so bad that like somebody has to pay for this because that pick is on 4th and 1, and you understand the logic of a rookie in the red zone saying, it's 4th and 1. I have to make something happen, or else we're gonna lose the down. It's gonna be a turnover on downs, and he's just trying to get rid of the ball. I understand that. An underhand throw and just lobbing it up like it's soft pitch.
You might as well just be like, here, buddy.
Exactly.
There you go. Hand it to him.
just handed them 7 points.
Yeah.
That's bad. And I think not only is the quarterback play bad, you have had a wide receiver who is the best wide receiver in football, who has historically not been diva because he's been quarterback proof. These two guys are breaking Justin Jefferson, and that's a problem.
You're testing the limits of his ability to be a good teammate, to be a consummate professional.
Just because he has been a consummate professional, I look at Justin Jefferson and how he plays. Look at the amount of diamonds that he has on his neck, and tell me that you don't think there's a diva in there. I promise you, if you keep throwing the ball to the other team, he's gonna get upset. He's having to. He's gonna start reading books on the sideline to try and calm himself down. And it's getting to that point where when you have that on the offensive side of the ball, when you have your defense that is one of the more talented defenses in the league, and you can't capitalize on anything. That's obviously is a major issue.
And usually when you see situations like this, at least from what I've seen through this first year, I usually see like teams have super talented backs, or at least like bare minimum solid offensive line. Now, of course, I know they've been having guys in and out through the entirety of the year, but to have like one of the more dire running game situations too, along with like having the worst quarterback situation, not even involving someone like Justin Jefferson in the offense for real in that first half of the Seahawks game. I think he had like 0 targets, something insane, bro. You have nothing to hang your hat on offensively.
Yeah, Will Fry scammed them in the same way Mekhi Becton scammed the Chargers.
Yeah.
Another unimpactful addition to the offensive line that we thought would be a bolstering unit that would help JJ McCarthy have a floor by having great protection after signing him and Ryan Kelly. Hasn't gone that way, especially with tackle injuries early in the season. That's been rough. Yeah, either way, no matter whose fault it is, obviously it is hindsight, but in all, they are in a disastrous situation with the offensive side of the ball that you have to do something. So the question is, this will be a question that will define the rest of the season. Can JJ McCarthy have 3 good games at the next 5 and prove that he is a starting caliber player and we should have hope going to next season? If he doesn't prove that, this is going to be a Josh Rosen situation, and they're going to give him 1 year, boot him, draft somebody else, sign somebody else, whatever it looks like. They're going to find their out, and that seems like that's on the table.
Do you think? Go ahead.
Oh no, the next game that they have is at home against the Commanders. That is a get-right game.
That is definitely get right.
That is a get-right game.
For a normal quarterback. I kind of feel like I'm watching Josh Rosen.
Yeah, I just don't see that happening. Question though, do you think that this team could be in contention for, I don't know, trading for someone like Kyler Murray?
Of course. Will they? Probably. Maybe not. Maybe if we sat down with it, we'd pick other teams that are more likely to do that.
Yeah.
Everything's on the table though. If JJ McCarthy is the biggest bust we could imagine, everything will be on the table. Like they can't go into next year. If the next 5 weeks go the same way as they have been, they cannot go into next year with JJ McCarthy as their primary plan.
They have games, next 5 games: Commanders, Cowboys, Giants, Lions, Packers.
Damn.
I don't think any of those games are favorable.
Is not the easiest stretch to end the year. You really have one opportunity, because even the Cowboys are playing much better defensively. You have one opportunity this week. Show us what you are made of. If 9 is really out here, I need to see something.
Yeah, so once the Giants cut Jameis Winston before the offseason starts and they do their normal stuff, get ready to pick up that phone, Jameis.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
The
Jameis
Vikings
is
are
getting
coming.
a bag, bro.
Mac Jones won't get cut because I'm pretty sure they just want to keep him as backup with Brock Purdy having the injury stuff. They probably just want to have both of them. Jameis will probably get cut. Flacco will probably be available for free. All these old guys get ready to pick up the phone.
Oh my
Man.
goodness, Flacco and Jameis on the same team.
Both of them, that'd be crazy.
They probably do get Flacco because then Justin Jefferson will have 15 catches every game.
True. He'd be happy.
Yeah.
You would be eating, bro.
Or do they trade Justin Jefferson and tear this shit down to the studs?
Why would you? I hope not.
Maybe they're far away. They got
That's-
They were actually in my running.
That's that
for, like,
NBA brain.
They were in the running for like one of my teams that I wanted to go ahead and be a fan of, but seeing how this
You can
whole-
still be a fan of
I'm
them.
sick of hearing
dude,
about this.
sorry, bro.
I'm
but
sick of hearing about
it
this
just
bullshit science you
can't-
have going with it.
It just can't happen
It's
anymore.
dumb.
It can't happen anymore, bro.
God, be a man.
Be a man for what? Do you don't? You're golden spoon kid, bro. You have nothing
Chargers
to
fan? Are
worry
you out
about.
your goddamn
You're a
mind?
Lakers fan, also. Are you out of your mind? Do you remember who you are? Do you remember who I am?
We're talking about the football teams here. I am the most
Sports
miserable
league.
fan.
He's a
Wide.
crack spoon kid.
There's nothing worse than being a Chargers fan besides being a Browns fan.
Think about this, sports wide, bro. Come on now.
My next question: where the hell do the Steelers go from here?
Okay, so the thing that you just said about the Vikings, the Steelers have to do. They have to blow it up. They have to tear it down to the And it sucks because I really like and appreciate what the Steelers have done for basically their entire existence. Or actually, no, not for their entire existence. Over the last
15 years,
even before that,
25 years.
Okay, a long time. The Steelers from the 70s on, right? The Steelers have been extremely consistent. Before that, they were a laughing stock of the league. They were terrible, but they've had 3 coaches. They do not fire people. They are the motto of like consistency and continuity and all that. They do not want to be bad. They do not tank, all of that stuff. It's gotten to a point where it's like, okay.
The Steelers haven't completed a downfield pass in 36 days.
That's nasty work.
0-13, 3 INTs the last 5 games combined on 20-yard error passes.
We can't keep doing. If I see Mason Rudolph one more season in a Steelers uniform, I'm going to be upset.
They're running the wishbone on offense. Essentially, all these giant tight ends, 1 receiver, no wide receiver 2s. Aaron Rodgers is injured, fighting through it. Looks like shit.
Looks
Their
like he got the
defense is-
suds.
He gets the suds. TJ Watt's taking a slight step back. No longer peak at his position powers. Still a great player, but no longer in the Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, Will Anderson conversation. Very expensive still. The rest of their defense, old DBs aren't playing as well as you'd hope for. The front 7 obviously isn't compensating for that. A lot of the old guys are looking like old guys. They are looking like an antiquated defense that can no longer carry a mediocre to bad offense. There's no light in the tunnel for this season for them having an elite unit that can make them win a playoff game. They are once again heading towards 500 at best, being 9-8, having that be the same old, and losing the first round as a best case scenario if they even make the playoffs. Nothing about them is exciting. We now have had 5 straight seasons of the same story over and over again, deluding ourselves. Actually, I didn't say ourselves. We know what's up. Them deluding themselves as a fan base and thinking next year will be different. Shout out to everything Mike Tomlin has done, building a program, being the ultimate floor raiser for so long. Does not feel like he's necessarily the coach that's going to carry you to championship territory anymore, at least not with these rosters. So something has to give. We're here. Everybody's talking about it more and more. Momentum is building for maybe it's time to have a new coaching change. Maybe it's time to enter a new era. Either that's necessary or an entire roster reconstruction and being able to really rebuild and deal with some off years. Something of the sort is necessary. Maybe both.
It's going to be both. Mike Tomlin is not the coach that's going to take you through this rebuild. I don't know. He's clearly shown like, I don't have the patience for this.
Yeah.
You're gonna get 1 year into the rebuild and he's gonna be like, all right, we're trading these picks where we're getting good right now. It's like they haven't won a playoff game since 2016.
Jeez, man.
They should let Mike Tomlin walk and go coach the Raiders and go make them competent, be their Mike Vrabel, help them build a program, be respectable, set up that team nicely for the next guy that's going to come in and help them actually win a championship.
This is awful.
And then the Steelers should hire some young up-and-coming coordinator that needs his first chance and bring some new life into them while they try to rebuild and find the quarterback of the future. It feels inevitable that this is the clear team that needs to bite the bullet and do something they've refused to do for so many years, but the clock's ticking and time is up.
It's been ticking. I think for the Steelers, It's funny because before the season, I was like, Aaron Rodgers is going to be the one to get Mike Tomlin fired. And like, Mike Tomlin might get fired. It's not going to be Aaron Rodgers' fault. It's going to be like obviously everybody's fault, but it is going to be funny.
How long have y'all been saying like, oh, bro, like Mike Tomlin should be fired? Mike Tomlin should be fired.
Last year,
Fired?
Last year was the first year where like the steam really, really got going. I feel like the year before there might have been like rumblings because people wanted to get ahead of it, but there was I think last year was the year that had the most smoke.
This is really the first year people were saying he should actually get fired. Last year there was like talks like, hey man, I don't know, it's coming up. Now it's like enough time has been there. For so long he was coasting on he never misses the playoffs, is always having winning seasons, always gets you to 9-10 wins. So it was like until last year it was like we must respect the hell out of Mike Tomlin. It's incredible to never have losing seasons.
Yeah.
And eventually there's enough barely winning seasons came around. Now people are finally fed up and saying, okay, I respected it for a while, now I'm bored of it.
What makes this even worse is seeing how like every single, you talked about it earlier, like every single or a lot of their offseason signings, whether it be like someone like Darius Slay who's just not good for them right now at all, fall on his face. And then you see, of course, he was traded for reasons, not necessarily because he wasn't good, but he was pretty much a head case here. But George Pickens is balling his ass off, looking like a top 5 receiver in the entire league. Looking at that, just walk away and fall on your face is just so sad, bro.
And Aaron Rodgers is back to throwing his teammates under the bus. Rodgers doesn't know how to get more production in the passing game. When there's film sessions, everybody shows up. When I go check to a route, run the right route. He's back in his peak, in his prime. No one does it better than him. He's a press conference extraordinaire. Knows exactly how to blame the right people every time because those people are never Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. This is the Steelers and where they're at is honestly, it is kind of sad because you had the division in a stranglehold.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow was out. Lamar Jackson was out. You were up multiple games. And Vegas still was like, they're going to choke it away.
Yep.
What, they are not going to win this division. And they proved everybody right. And they've lost 2 in a row. Their last couple games, they have the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Lions, the Browns, and the Ravens again. If they can go 3-2, we can save Mike Tomlin his winning record. Yeah, his winning season record. Get him that. Let him go out the door with some grace, and then we can rebuild. I will say, it can get spooky very, very fast, right? Like we see a lot of times teams go into rebuilds, and it takes a lot longer to get out of the rebuild. However, this right here is just as much torture to Steelers fans as being bad because there's no plan.
Yeah,
it really is like a year by year basis, and you can't even tell anybody next year is going to be the year that we're putting everything together. You're grasping for straws at this point, and there's nothing to show for it ever.
That's tough. Yeah, not even much to say here. They are what they are, and the question is, can they show some type of life to have us convinced of what the plan will be going to next year? And I doubt it.
Yeah.
Donovan, what's the next question?
Were the Colts frauds?
Oof. You've been dying to get this one off for weeks. And listen, man.
I'm just posing the question.
You were dying to get this shit off after one loss. Now there's a few. Things are stacking up.
It's a few, and your quarterback is playing with a fracture in his leg.
And that it shows. It shows. That's a big. Are they frauds? As in that ass was the first 8 weeks of fluke. When you say frauds, like was it all fake and we never should believe in them? I won't say that, but I will say that they're fucked a little bit. It feels like just because things are going wrong now. Daniel Jones looks like he has no mobility. Daniel Jones looks like a statue. He looks like Kirk Cousins out there with that fractured leg. And part of what made Daniel Jones so good to start that season was his ability to thrive under pressure, which was the Achilles heel of Daniel Jones for the rest of his career. He was god awful under pressure. When that flipped and him being one of the best quarterbacks under pressure, the offense was insane. You have the best running game in the world. You have great yards after catch weapons. And Daniel Jones, who is standing in there and delivering by being able to move around the pocket and keep plays alive and be accurate in the short area, it was a machine. Well, if he can't move and the pressure comes, he can't evade it. He looks like old Daniel Jones a little bit, which not to say he's back to being one of the worst quarterbacks in the league or anything, but if he's no longer performing quite at that level where we were saying he's playing like a top 10 quarterback, that's tough. That makes it easier to stop the run. They've had their worst run stretch of the whole season in the last 4 weeks. Sauce Gardner goes out with a calf injury. That's week to week. That's obviously an injury that gets re-aggravated a lot. We'll see where that goes. You gave up 2 first-round picks for him because you thought this was the year because you had your quarterback. It's feeling like a lot of unfortunate events are spiraling. That doesn't make them frauds, but it might make them look like a fraud come playoff time.
Is there a worse if you have a broken leg, is there a worse defense to play than the Houston Texans?
Fuck no.
Dude,
No.
they're demons all around, bro. And honestly, when I watched that game too, of course, like he didn't have the best game, but I think there's so many other parts to the Colts that I would be quicker to criticize than someone like Daniel Jones.
Yeah, this isn't his fault. He got hurt and he's less mobile. But like, I'm the reason they're losing games to me isn't Daniel Jones turned back into a pumpkin. Like it wasn't like completely he's a fraud back to being old Daniel Jones.
Yeah, or going into the future for the next few games and whatever they do in the playoffs for sure is something that you're weary about. Right now, I don't think the fraud's just yet. Not just yet.
But I am worried. Like it sucks that we're seeing this stretch, and maybe this is what they needed. They need adversity to go back in the lab and get their running game going again, kind of like reconfigure, make themselves a little more multidimensional. But it definitely sucks if they just stack up injuries the worst time, and if Sauce Gardner isn't 100% come playoff time, and like things go poorly for them, it would be highly unfortunate given the amazing start they had.
Yeah, and honestly, at this point, it doesn't matter if they're frauds or not. They gave up the AFC South. They're no longer leading that division right now. The Jags are in the top spot.
It's crazy,
The
man.
Colts have 2 games against the Jags to close out their season, and they have another game against the Texans. Obviously, that division is going to be decided in those 3 games. The Texans are 7-5. Colts and Jags are both 8-4. If they can't get it together, because they're 1-3 in their last 4 games, if they can't get it together and go 2-1 in those stretches and really try to get a leg up in this division, then I don't see a Colts team going on the road with a broken leg quarterback to go on a deep run the same way that we thought, a month ago when anytime that you handed Jonathan Taylor the ball, he's going to break it off for a 50-yard touchdown. That's not necessarily going to happen. They can still get back to that, but the complementary nature of their offense, I'm not sure that's going to come back.
Yeah.
How unfortunate for a team that started so strong. Still get it together. You said they did face the Texans defense, who's playing at an amazing level. Like it's them or the Broncos for best defense in the league right now, and it's feeling like the Texans are taking that. The way Will Anderson is playing, there's a play in this game where they line Will Anderson up over the center, and play snapped through him. Daniel Jones again couldn't move. Will Anderson snapped it through the center into Daniel Jones for the sack because Daniel Jones couldn't take a single step either direction and just got murked by his own offensive lineman because Will Anderson is a fucking tank.
And guess what? That was the only recorded sack of the day. And hey, you take that at the end of the day, bro, because just a couple weeks ago after that or before that, they sacked Josh Allen like 8 times, bro. Crazy work.
This defense is amazing.
Yeah. Shout out to the bits and pieces of their offensive line. They'll be all right, I think.
Next team. I will say, what do I have left? Okay, I got one left. You have one left as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay, last one I have. Do the AFC's classic contenders have one last push in them? Do we got one last ride for the rest of the season for the next 5 weeks for 2 teams that are currently 500? In the Chiefs and the Ravens. Do they have it in them to really contend for the AFC? I agree with the Bills in there too, who are standing a little bit better, but they're also, had some roster atrophy and don't really feel like they're peak of their powers anymore. Is the Super Bowl going to contain one of these 3 teams?
No.
Oof.
Actually, I'll take that back. It won't. The Ravens will not be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am 100% certain that they will not make the Super Bowl. That's how I feel about them. The Chiefs, until they are officially eliminated from playoff contention, I'm not going to say they're not going to be in the Super Bowl. That is just how I feel, and I will go down with that ship. The Bills, I can see it potentially only because if we get a month of the craziest Josh Allen stretch that you can get to really put the defense on your back, put the offense on your back, then I can see it. But that's how I feel.
Yeah, and that's the thing when you have an MVP quarterback, there's always going to be that ceiling for all these teams that we say. But Lamar isn't playing like an MVP quarterback right now. Post-injury, he had a few weeks where he didn't look quite the same with his legs. I think the legs looked a little bit better in his last game. The throwing does not look the same at all. We know the offensive line has had issues on the interior all season that has hurt their run game, hurt Derrick Henry's ability to be 100% as effective as it was last year. There's just so much wrong with the Ravens right now that we hope would come together. And I feel like there's equally as many questions as it was early in the season, even though those questions have changed because the defense has made a little bit of strides.
Yeah, I have no hopes for the Ravens at all. There's just too many questions. And then when it comes to Lamar Jackson being the best quarterback in the NFL. Hasn't been that at all. I just have no hopes. That conversation is long gone for a while.
Yeah, that's cooked. The Chiefs is the bigger question. Like all season, we've been talking about like we'll give them benefit of the doubt. We won't pick against them until they're dead. You just don't want to go out being the guy who was out on the Chiefs too early because they always prove us wrong year after year. Bro, they're not in the playoffs right now. They're third in their division. We're week 13. Like it's getting crazy. It's getting ridiculous.
I need the Chargers to be the Chargers. In order for the Chiefs to make the playoffs, the Chargers are gonna have to find a way to just collapse down the stretch of the season.
Well, no offensive line. Herbert has a broken hand. They have a tough schedule. It's very likely. It's possible.
And that's what they need.
But they got to win out. Like they have to do their part. And we've been saying for weeks they have to start winning games, and they haven't started winning games yet. So they can get all the help they possibly could hope for. The Chargers could end up winning 9 games, which would be a colossal failure. For what they have 7 wins right now.
They have 8.
8, yeah. So they could win 10 games, and that would be a disappointment. That would be somewhat of a collapse to go 2-3 to finish. Are the Chiefs going to get 10 wins?
That's the thing. That's why if you're a Chiefs fan, you need 1 in 4.
Good luck. That's it's hard to go 1-4 for any team.
Like, you need 1 in 4 for the Chargers over the next 5, and it also does suck because the other teams ahead, like you're kind of hoping that Jacksonville stays at the top of the AFC South and that the Colts can stay in the wild card race because at least you have the tiebreaker over the Colts since you won that.
You need the Colts to fail, the Chargers to fail, the Texans to fail. There's a lot of teams in that range.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it's over. It's every week we have the same conversation. Every week I hear all these mystical stories and how, you have one of the greatest QBs of all time alongside one of the greater coaches too. And nothing just ends up working. Like shout out to Travis Kelce, still has it apparently. The running game has been dire, of course. Mm-hmm. The receiving core isn't as impactful at all. Their defense. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I think it's over.
So they have this upcoming week. They play the Texans this week. That's obviously going. They cannot lose another game if they want to make the playoffs. They do have to go like 11-6, and that's probably what it's going to be. So, but that is obviously not the easiest test. Whenever you need to go undefeated, is to go play the best defense in the NFL. And 2, I don't know if you guys saw the quote from Andy Reid, but apparently he has like a plan.
He has a plan.
he has a plan for what the Chiefs are going to do. Andy Reid said, "We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play. Every game, that's the attitude we're coming in with."
Okay.
What the hell does this mean, Andy Reid?
Tickle your tonsils.
Do you know what it takes to tickle someone's tonsils? Like, do you know
about
how
10 inches?
Uncomfortable that is? How do you know it's 10? That's wildly accurate.
What did he mean by this?
I have no idea. And he's been getting, Andy Reid gets a lot of flack. This is easily 3 times worse than Dan Campbell saying we're biting kneecaps. Tickling tonsils is diabolical.
I genuinely, maybe I got to hear the whole thing. I can't even imagine what he means by this because I don't think he means what I think he means. I don't think Andy Reid would say that.
I don't know.
What is the goal here? When I hear biting kneecaps, I don't know why, but for some reason that just feels like inspirational and like motivational. Just run through a wall,
Yeah. Well,
you can
tickle your
see
tonsils. Okay,
what time
is he saying? Does it make you swallow? You're gonna be like you're gonna be like scared,
make someone throw up?
It's either
choke up.
Either you indirectly tickle somebody's tonsils by having them like do like the hard swallow and just be like, or you forcefully tickle their tonsils.
And to get to the tonsils,
he said either way, you're either gonna be nervous or we're gonna make it happen.
Whoa, make it happen? Whoa.
I have no idea.
What the fuck?
Forcefully?
10 inches forcefully?
Damn, oh God.
Yo!
So I have no idea what Andy Reid's talking about.
Hey, I'm out on them. Actually, does it make you out on them or does it make you in on them?
We'll see how this week goes.
No, off of this quote, are you selling or buying Chiefs stock?
I guess
Selling
I'll
all
buy.
that shit.
Actually, no. This is out of character. I've never heard Andy Reid talk about tickling tonsils before, and the fact that we are in a place where you're speaking like this is very delusional speaking.
Where are your tonsils at? Are they like deep in your neck or at the top, like
I've
by
no
your
idea.
lymph nodes?
I have no idea.
Because we got to get to the bottom of just what he plans to do and how he plans to get there. If your tonsils are, I think they might be towards the top of your neck. Like
Your
the back of your
tonsils are
throat.
located on either side of the back of your throat at the rear of your mouth.
Okay, so it's like where your lymph nodes are up here.
It says when you see them, you can see them when you open your mouth wide.
Oh,
and
okay,
look
never
in
mind.
the mirror.
We need like 4 inches. I can reach my own tonsils. Like he can reach tonsils. That's
4 inches, okay.
not outlandish. That's just like that's manageable.
Okay. I guess.
4 inches is enough. Got it. Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Andy.
Maybe he wasn't that crazy.
He said, listen, this is what we have,
Yeah.
and this is how we're going to use it.
What a game plan. Okay. I didn't know we were getting here, but we're
He
here.
said, I know everybody wants a high-flying offense, right? Everybody wants the show. We're about execution. It's about how you use what you have.
It's about how you get to the tonsils, not what you get to the tonsils with.
Tonsil attack. Okay, I didn't. All right, I'm looking forward to that shit. I will no longer be watching any Chiefs games. I will be skipping every single press conference he does.
This old man is tripping. I have no idea. Now,
He's trying to get to that Joe Budden video we were talking about.
now,
Just
if this
crazy.
ultimately is the quote that gets the Chiefs back on track, Hall of Famer, obviously, first ballot, I'll say he's better than Belichick if they run the table.
Oh, especially if they run the table via like tonsils. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, goat him.
Yeah.
Goated.
I guess
Because that's a strategy Belichick never had. You can have 6 down linemen. You could play the 6-1. You could do whatever you want. Bill Belichick has never tickled tonsils to win a football game. If the Chiefs, again, if they go undefeated, I'm putting Andy Reid over Bill Belichick.
Okay, last question, please.
Is your last question?
Real question. What the hell do the Arizona Cardinals do with Kyler Murray? What I really want to know is, should they give him one more chance?
No. What's your next question?
Damn.
I was also gonna say no, and I was gonna say that they should have his bags packed before the end of the year. That exit interview, you know how like everybody has their like trash bags and they take all the stuff out the locker. He shouldn't have a trash bag. They should be nice. They should give him Louis duffel bags, and you get to put everything in there. Right? We'll let you go out with dignity and swag. You will not be on this team next year.
It's funny because their offense still sucks without him, so it's not like it's some kind of like you get him out of there. And
Yes,
then
but I'm
suddenly
not
you're good.
gonna pay massive money for us to suck.
I think with this fake ass benching, going to the IR and like faking injury for PR, I don't know how you come back from that. I mean, I guess you could if he comes back for the last 2 weeks, like lights it up. Maybe they're like cool, could delude themselves, but I think everything we said a couple weeks ago when he initially got benched probably still stands. That the scheme fit isn't there. I'm sure there's locker room issues with the lack of success around him, and like they're probably ready for a new era.
Kyler Murray over the next 2 years. Next year he has a cap hit of $53 million. The year after he has a cap hit of $43 million. Then there's a potential out, but then there's another year where he has a cap hit of $46 million.
Get ready to speak Pittsburgh Steeler, Kyler Murray.
I actually feel bad for the fans in Pittsburgh if they have to go get Kyler Murray.
I feel bad for Kyler Murray if he had to go play for Arthur Smith in that wide receiver room.
That's terrible.
At least you go out with some swag, though.
Cool jerseys?
At least you go out with
Yeah.
no swag in terms of like, yo, he'll run a little bit. He'll try some shit.
Okay, I guess.
Right. Well, Don, what is the last question?
The last question is going to be, how does the NFC West finish? Because we have 2 teams that are really at the top of everything. You have the LA Rams, you have the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks obviously just came off a very dominant win against Mr. Brosmer, and the Rams, like we talked about earlier, pissed down their leg this week and lost to the Panthers.
I wouldn't say they pissed down their leg, but they did lose.
I mean, they three turnovers is ridiculous.
I honestly, not getting too far into it, I think that was a game the Panthers just like won it.
No,
they took the victory by the reins. They made some big plays.
They did win.
So I'm not like I'm not really worried.
They underestimated
also-
the fuck out of the Panthers.
At the same time, you also did piss down your legs. Now you were forced. You got forced to piss down.
You
your
got
legs.
the piss squeezed out of you. You got juice.
That's more.
You got juice
got
by the
juice.
Panthers.
That's more accurate. But like after last week, we were all saying, okay, the Rams are clearly the best team in the NFL. Like they seem like they are the team that is going to be at least a level above everybody. The NFC is going to run through them. And now that the playing field is much more even, they have another matchup in 2 weeks at this point. Who's going to win the NFC West? What does that mean? Do either of them get the number 1 seed? That question and how this ultimately plays out is honestly like going to dictate a lot of how the rest of the season goes, obviously because of playoff seedings, MVP talks with Matt Stafford, the Seahawks and their overall outlook. Like the NFC West is going to ultimately decide the NFC.
Yeah, and right now the 49ers via playoff odds, these different sites have like a 90% chance of making the playoffs. They're going to be a wildcard team, almost guaranteed.
92% playoff probability.
Yeah,
right
they
now.
will be a wildcard team, and obviously the Seahawks or Rams will be the other one. Like that's a huge having 3 teams. It happens every now and then. It's not unheard of. That's a huge bulk of the playoff picture through one division.
Yeah, it's what we thought that the NFC North was going to be, and ultimately still low key can be if the Lions finish out pretty strong. But like you have 2 divisions that are really lighting everything up, and then NFC East clown show, NFC South clown show, like
Clown show.
they're both just hilariously unserious.
Yeah, and honestly, there's not much to say about this one, but this will be one of the defining question marks for the rest of the playoffs. I mean, rest of the regular season. Like even just like matchup based. Like we talk about the Seahawks a lot as being one of the more dominant 2-way teams. They probably are like not matchup dependent because they're a great team. It can be pretty much whoever rolls out in front of them. But they have their flaws as a rushing offense with the offensive line. With we're seeing in recent weeks the lack of wide receiver talent around JSN. Like depending on who they match up against, will do a lot. And we're gonna have zero indication where those teams will land seeding wise until the final week of the year.
Yeah, because especially like for the Rams, if the Rams don't end up getting the number 1 seed and you have to go on the road, like the same thing that happened last year where you go to Philly and all of a sudden now it's snowing. What if you have to go to Green Bay and it's the same thing? We've seen several like super cold games, stuff like that. Playing outside for teams that aren't normally used to that is something that can happen. We've seen teams. The Rams cornerbacks have been better this year than what a lot of us expected coming into the year, but it's still like those names are still on the back of the jersey. And if you go into a playoff game, you still are going to attack the Rams with their secondary. And that is going to be the spot that you try to win the game at. If you find certain matchups that don't work for you, that's going to be an issue. So I think like the Rams probably more so than the Seahawks have to, win this division and have those games at SoFi. But the potential matchup of everything, like right now, first round matchup, you'd have the Rams at home against the 49ers, and you'd have the Seahawks going on the road to Tampa, which is honestly kind of favorable to Seattle. Like I want to play Tampa if I'm anybody. Just because of how they have fared over the last 6 weeks. It's been they're 7-5. They started off 6-2.
Well, they're finna get Mike Evans back. They just got Bucky Irving back, so maybe they're gonna get right. But yeah, that's still not a bad matchup. I'd be pretty okay with that.
So you have that matchup. Going to LA playing indoors, it feels fine to me. And I just, even though that the Niners are completely, injured and all that stuff in there are a legit hospital, playing Shanahan, especially in that like specific rivalry, is never fun.
Yeah, look where they're at. Look how many wins they have despite being in hospital all year. Like I don't want to see anything that has to do with Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah. So I think the NFC West is running the NFC. They have 3 teams in there. All those teams are going to make it. It's going to decide the conference. It's going to be one of the biggest deciding factors for the rest of the year.
Yep. And with that being said, that is 10 questions that will decide the rest of the NFL season. It is time. Oh, Donovan picked up the crown this time. Oh, my God. Oh, and he handed it off. Look at that. Teamwork makes the dream work. It is time for TikTok time. No.
Smo, you know.
What do you know? What did you learn this week?
Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing.
I learned that, this is based off of a conversation that we had just yesterday. And I felt like it would be a great talking point because I realized, oh shit, went home, thought about it, dreamt about it, showered with it on my mind, drank my coffee this morning with it on my mind. We are a dome deficient league. We need more domes in this league.
We're a dome recession.
Yes. Why isn't every team in the league playing with domes? Why are we allowing our players and their play style, more specifically quarterbacks, of course, it affects traction on the field and all that, play through disgusting weather conditions? Do you realize how many implications it has? Like just way earlier in the year, I think it was probably the Eagles ring night or something like that. I don't know. One of their first games of the year got pushed back by like a whole hour and 15 minutes. We need more domes.
I think the world probably needs more domes. And like, this is like a bigger macro conversation of why isn't everybody in the NFL fandom pro dome?
Why? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's not like if you have a dome, you can't have your dome be retractable. That just tells me that your dome doesn't have no bag.
Yeah, and like a good dome has retractable. Like nothing worse than bad dome where you have these like lifeless stadiums that are just like
exactly like the Mercedes-Benz Arena, like that dome right there. It retracts. It looks like a goddamn like Decepticon, and you can still feel the sun shining on your beautiful radiant skin, and you feel like the heat and the weather and all that still.
But that's a good dome that makes you feel alive.
Then you start to get shadows on the field. No. What you guys hate is a vibe. Y'all hate when you show up. It's 65 degrees. It's nice, crisp air, sunny, and you get perfect football weather on a nice fall afternoon. Why are we trying to take this away from the American
So
people?
are you here to look in the camera and tell the world you're anti-dome?
Yes, I'm anti-dome.
I'm sorry, but you can be anti-dome all you want. Over half of the leagues, over half of the teams in the league right now have domes. And
I know, and they're soft.
they're not soft. What do you mean? Why don't you want to see everyone play in fair conditions?
Because I think, honestly, like I do think it's like one having like the peak of outdoor is chef's kiss. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful It's beautiful for like a couple of months.
And also, I truly think that it helps with legitimately home field advantage.
Yes, true, but then you kind of sow the product a little bit.
No,
it looks cooler.
That is what is the if everybody is playing in a dome, right? And everything is the same. The home field advantage or any type of like any leg up that you can get by playing at home, by playing at the place that you play 8 times a year, that is taken away from. I do think that having open stadiums allows for people to have some type of home field advantage, and it doesn't just benefit the teams in the north with snow, because also if you go to Tampa or if you go to Houston or if you go to Miami in early September, we've seen plenty of times where teams go down there and they lose games because it's too hot and they don't understand how to deal with it, but you are equipped for it. You should be able to say, you have to come into my house, into my jungle, and you have to beat me.
But guess what? You can still do the same thing. You can still have like weather be on your side, because again, your domes can be retractable.
You can't.
I just think
you can't, because if there's bad weather, then you're gonna close it.
And guess what?
You see what I'm saying?
You will
and
not run into a
I'm
situation
anti-dome. Overall,
where you're fucking over your entire schedule.
Stop it. I need you to understand. I am anti-dome. I will be the face of anti-dome if needed. And I will continue campaigning for my position to the day that I die.
You're crazy, man. We need more dome.
I've seen that video of Cam Newton.
Which one?
Folks ain't gonna keep being patient with you. That
What?
video that's been all over Twitter. I love it. I just saw it right now. Unrelated note. I love it.
I missed
He
it.
was firing Keon Coleman up.
Oh, okay.
Unrelated. I just happened to see it. I haven't seen people use that. I just saw someone say Xavier Worthy. And they put that video.
Poor Keon, man.
Poor
one
Keon.
up
What do you mean?
He's on my team, man. Fuck, bro.
He hasn't performed.
That's on you.
Have you won a game, by the way?
I faced him this week. I think he might be my first win.
Me?
Yeah.
My team is pretty injured.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
Amon-Ra's hurt. Drake London's hurt. Jaden Daniels hurt. Cam Scatterwood dead. Trey Benson dead. Tucker Kraft dead.
Yeah.
I got a murderer's row of injured players.
All right. One win.
I have like a 45% chance, bro. Next week.
We're leaving here with something.
Bruh.
I haven't set my lineup yet, though. You have a 45% chance?
I think so. Last time I checked.
Let me see. Let me put players in that are going to play
set
this week.
set the lineup and crush his dreams.
I shouldn't have said anything.
That's because Jackson Dart is on a bye, and he's starting from here now. So if I once I pick a quarterback, and my defense on a bye, you have no chance, buddy. Because Amon-Ra's hurt. Sliding Chris Olave. I have to take out him, so I'll put in. Hopefully, if Drake London plays, you're cooked, buddy.
Oh, fuck, I forgot. Herbert's going to be out probably, right?
Oh, that's your quarterback. Actually, no, he's supposed to be going to play through it.
I'm slapping that
Dude,
hand.
last week he gave me like 13 points.
You're
Fuck,
cooked.
man.
I'm slapping it. Just
And with that being said, that is the end of the first half of this show. We are on the TikTok time.
Who move?
Welcome to TikTok time. As always, you guys know what we're here to do. You guys know what we're here to begin with. We are going to pick the biggest winners and losers in the NFL for Week 13. I think today we start with negativity.
cool.
And I think I will go first.
Go ahead.
Biggest losers of this week. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, Dallas Goedert, Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Tyler Steen, Lane Johnson, and Kevin Patullo.
Damn, that's everybody.
I can name a few more.
Go ahead.
Nick Sirianni.
Why are they losers?
Tanner McKee, Tank Bigsby,
Jeez.
Darius Cooper, Xavier Gibson, Britton Koive, Brett Todd, Fred Johnson. Because they play for the Philadelphia Eagles on that godforsaken offense. Everybody associated with that side of the ball, you are the biggest loser of this week.
And that's why me and my happiness once again is on this biggest loser list. I thought I was going to get off of the list after last week. I thought we were going to have a couple days, get right, celebrate Thanksgiving, be thankful, and then go out and have ourselves a day. Nope. We
That's
were born by
crazy.
the end of the first quarter.
You love to see it.
Here we are.
You love to see it.
Okay. My first loser. This is really fresh. But biggest loser this week has to be, all 32 teams in the NFL. Why? Because Andy Reid has a new plan intact. He is now known to me as the tonsil tickler. What do you mean that your game plan is to go out there with your 6-6 sorry dire team? Your game plan is to tickle tonsils 4 inches deep into someone's mouth?
It sounds like innovation to me. I've never heard of anybody doing this.
Sometimes, and what is Andy Reid known for if not innovation?
Exactly.
He's always changing it up. Just when you think you've nailed down the Andy Reid experience,
Ahead of the curve.
here's one more attack for you.
Everyone hide your kids, hide your grandmas, hide your brothers, hide your sisters. Players on the field, don't show up. We got a tickler on the loose.
My next loser of this week, Aaron Rodgers. You do all that hoopla. You do all this virtue signaling of how you're going to play through this injury. You come out, you don't even score 10 points. You come out after the game, you talk to the journalist, and you say, my teammates don't watch enough film, and it's a problem. You're back to throwing people under the bus. Peak Aaron Rodgers experience is here.
Yeah, I honestly, listen, shout out to him. Held it in for a long time.
Yeah.
We're 3 months into the season. I thought we were getting this in week 6. So.
Yeah. He tried his darndest. He tried real hard to not to listen to the devil on his shoulder. He couldn't deal with it today.
Got it. Shout out to him, all right? You tried your best.
Yo.
Another biggest loser, Jackson Dart's brain.
Ooh.
Just had a concussion. They sat him out, fired the coach because they said, you're being too reckless with our quarterback. You need to get him to slide. You need to get him to understand he has to be here. He cannot keep taking these big hits. Monday Night Football happens. What happens? Boom. Helmet to helmet. Gets knocked out. Gets leveled on the sideline. Could have went out easily and had a very short 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. Very manageable, right? He said, nah, I'm just going to run. And I'm just going to keep going. And I'm not going to slide.
I had him as a loser too because he had no regard for his own fucking life, bruh. At this point in time, Giants fans, I hope you will soak every single down that he plays.
Mike Dable's at home like, bro, I've been telling him to slide. Y'all blame me. He's fucking crazy.
He is not the issue at all, bruh.
Another loser, Justin Jefferson. We've been saying it all year. Been cursed. He's lost his title of QB proof because 9 came through the door and shattered it. He thought he had hope. He thought he'd have a Brock Purdy situation with this guy coming in the door. Never met him before, but apparently this is my quarterback this week. Let's ride. Game starts. He throws the funniest pick I've ever seen in my life. Justin Jefferson did something in this life. Maybe his ancestors did it. Maybe it was like his great grandpa did it. Something has been done to him that he is cursed for eternity to never once again have a good quarterback.
He has to pay for it because, oh man, I feel bad. He has to be looking at Atlanta. He's like, I could fix Kirk again.
Yeah, he's begging for the days of Kirk Cousins. That was his peak of
He's
quarterback play.
Should I text him?
Do you know how many touchdowns he has so far this year?
2 maybe?
2, exactly.
Yeah.
That's so sad, bruh. So sad.
Desperate.
Damn.
Another loser for this week. luxury watches.
What
We
happened?
weren't able to put the luxury watches up because Shadeur Sanders and the Browns scored 8 points this week. It was looking good after last week, right? He had his first start. Didn't look horrendous. Didn't look amazing, but didn't look horrendous. This week it was a little bit more closer to the horrendous side than the, not too bad.
Tough.
So put the watches back in the case. We'll see you next week.
Another loser. The idea of playing hard for a new coach. A lot of times people get fired midseason and you think you're going to get this like week or two of them rallying behind the new guy. That did not happen for the Raiders offense. They scored 14 points. They still look terrible. No Chip Kelly, still a problem. They changed some stuff up. They started putting Brock Bowers at tight end instead of receiver, yada, yada. Didn't matter. They still look like shit.
Speaking of looking like shit, another loser. The Atlanta Falcons and their entire organization. Fuck that. The entire state of Georgia itself. Why? Because Raheem Morris, as of 12:07 p.m. Central Time, is still your head coach. You lost to the Jets. What the fuck? This is the worst team in the league.
My biggest loser of this week is the Jets for winning games. Don't you know the objective here? You need to get as few wins as possible at this point in the season. Now you're not in the top 4 picks anymore after this. You have 3 wins instead of 2. Get it together.
You got out-assed by the Falcons?
Get
Come
it
on now,
together.
bro.
My last biggest loser is just elders. Old people. Frank Ragnow said, I got one more in me. Then he went and got that MRI. They said, so your hamstring is off the bone.
Oh, I forgot. We didn't even talk about that.
You can't play here. Go get help. And he said, all right, I guess I got to go home now. Walking around as a civilian with your hamstring off the bone is insane.
Great reason to say. There's no way you don't know that unless football players are even crazier than we thought they were. That he's used to his body hurting. It led to him retiring. And he's so used to pain that he was just like, yeah, tweak something in my leg, but I can come out. I can give you 45 snaps tomorrow. The whole time the hamstring doesn't exist.
Of course, they're crazy. Daniel Jones has a fracture in his leg and still started the game.
Yes,
they are insane.
So biggest loser this week is taking care of your body.
Yeah, Justin Herbert broke his left fucking hand, bruh, and he's still playing next week.
He broke his hand on the first drive of the game, played the whole game, got surgery the next day, and immediately was like, yeah, I'm playing a week from now.
What the fuck, man?
These guys are bionical.
Go home.
They're bionical. That's all the losers I got.
Same.
On to the winners. First winner of this week, J.J. McCarthy. This is not a Brock Purdy situation. This guy is not coming for your job. You once again live to start another day. I don't know if you do a damn thing with this opportunity, but it's still here. You have a job for one more week as a starter.
My first winner. We got old school traditions. Shout out to those damn kids in Philadelphia. Bringing back old school traditions. Egging Nick Sirianni's house. We need to bring that back into society.
Pranks
We need to go ahead. Yes. We need to have people perform at a high level and standard. Bring back these things. Bring back T-Ping, eggs, throw tomatoes at people. It don't matter who they are and what their job is. Do it. Let them know that you expect a certain standard.
Biggest winner this week, hooligans. You guys are up. Misbehaving children. You guys are up.
Let's go. Nuisances are back up, bruh.
Scabs of society are winning.
My first winner, crazy people.
Okay.
Because obviously, sometimes, people, they act a certain way, they talk a certain way. You're like, nah, they're crazy. Don't listen to them. Sometimes you have to listen to the crazy people. And when I say crazy people, I mean George Pickens.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
You might have to listen to him. Whatever he says, it might be law. This guy is dominating every single week. He's a top receiver. We talked about it last week. Might be a top 4, top 5 receiver at the end of this year.
Him saying I could be a top 5 receiver, and everyone's like, yeah, okay, George. It's like someone saying, I'm finna start a Fortune 500 company. You just wait. Believe him.
He has the keys.
Oh, shit, man.
My next winner. Drake May MVP odds. It looked like it was Matthew Stafford time. It looked like it was the Matthew Stafford era. You're getting your chain snatched in the MVP race. Stafford gets outdueled by Bryce Young. You beat the hell out of a team on national television. Drake May, you're back in the driver's seat.
That's awesome. In terms of awards, shout out to Joe Burrow Award Discourse. It is up this year. We've seen a lot of people go in and out of conversations, but Joe Burrow is trying to get back on track in the Whiteboard of the Year award discussion.
Okay.
I understand that Drake May might have a stranglehold on it, but the other guys at the top of the list, Jackson Dart, miss time, keeps getting knocked out. Cam Scatterboo broke his ankle. Joe Burrow came in, beat Lamar on Thanksgiving night, has a couple more games. If the Bengals get to rolling and they have a couple successful games, Joe Burrow and his aura might snatch him Whiteboard of the Year.
That's why I had Joe Burrow as a fucking winner. Why? Because he has risen, because the depression rates in Cincinnati is down right now, bruh. He came back, made everyone's life so much easier. You went in there, clamored the goddamn Ravens, and you're giving people hope. That's all they need at the end of the day.
My next winner, you should have known this was coming. Toyotathon is the next winner of this episode. Jordan Love had the best game of his season.
Yeah.
It's December.
It's that time.
Perfect timing.
It's that
Always
time.
for Jordan Love. We know what time of the year he turns it up. We're here.
We have to figure this out. Like, does he just have mad Toyotas in his garage? He's just a Toyota guy.
Maybe it's kind of like we talked about that Justin Jefferson is cursed with something that his forefathers did. There's some kind of like generational aura that Jordan Love gets. I don't know if he had somebody involved with the car manufacturing business and like the boom in America in the 1800s. He gets some kind of power from this, though. It arises.
Somebody he knows works in marketing, and it just like wakes something up in him.
Yeah, there's a mystical power absorbs into his eyes.
Love that.
His eyes turn blue, shoots lasers out of his mouth, floats in the sky.
What are we talking about at this point?
My next winner, the Tennessee Titans. You are 1 week closer to the season being over.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
Fans of the Titans, your eyes can finally rest.
Speaking of similar winner, AJ Brown, 2 weeks in a row, 100 yards, 2 weeks in a row, 2 losses. Everything's went well for the AJ Brown agenda. For what matters to AJ Brown, you are so up. That's a win streak in my eyes.
You are still a top 10 receiver in this league, and that is all that matters.
For these 2 weeks, you are.
Exactly.
When I do my rankings, though, don't get excited to see AJ Brown's name.
That's minimum top 5 receiver.
Major winner on my list is Bryce Young.
Yep.
You, again, brother, have showed up with one of the biggest wins of the entire season. We're talking about, the LA Rams, damn near Super Bowl contender Rams, bro, at this point in time. And you showed them up and out in the fourth quarter.
Yep. Once again, you have ducked. He needs to be bench allegations for this week. Maybe next week it'll come back. The week after that, you'll duck it again. We'll keep flip-flopping like we have all year. But for now, you are up for the next 6 days.
True. Next people that are up for me, the Houston Texans defense.
Oh, yeah.
You've played several weeks with Davis Mills as your quarterback. You went on the road into the Indianapolis Colts house, smacked them around left and right. This defense is the best defense in the NFL. And not only are they good just because, hey, people don't score points on us, they are scary. They're
horrifying.
They strike fear into people's hearts. You know that after playing the Texans, you might leave with some broken bones. They are my number 1 defense in the NFL.
For sure. My last winner, Mexicans. Why, you may ask?
Shout out to the Mexicans.
Didn't ask.
Because them boys have won twice in a row of beating 2 straight Super Bowl teams from last year. The Mexicans in the jean shorts with the jersey with the panels on it, and the Flint 13s are up. And the low fade, up.
This is why.
If only we can get the Raiders on track.
Oh, God. We are up right now.
Let's complete the trifecta.
That part, not so much. But being a Cowboys fan, I'm sure is fun for this month.
Yeah. My last winner, Bo Nix. Congratulations. You just keep on winning, and you don't need too many great throws. You need timely ones. And you did that. Just keep on winning. You're just continuously shutting us up. We haven't said a word about you at all.
Shout out the Broncos winning 4 straight games by
Shutting
3
us
points.
up? No, keep doing something. I need to see it for the whole year. Prove it to me.
They won by 3 points against the Commanders. And shout out the Broncos, continuing to find ways to win by 3 points every single week.
Exactly. A win is a win at the end of the day.
It is, and that's all that matters.
That's true.
And that's a winners and losers of the week. Next thing we are going to do, we are going to put NFL QB wide receiver duos into a tier list.
Let's go.
So I have 15 combinations of quarterback and receivers. You tell me, based on the combination of both their skills, both their standing in the league, their chemistry, whatever it means to you, where they go. Let's start off at the top. Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua.
Ooh, this got to be
This
an
is
ARS.
S tier.
Probably yes.
Any Matthew Stafford wide receiver, you are going to get hella targets. You are going to be an S tier. You are going to have a great connection. They are at the top of the list.
Yes, but right before he got hurt, he was looking like the best receiver in the league. He still looks like one of the best in the league for all the reasons and all the things that he does on the field.
Yep. This is a top 5 wide receiver and a quarterback who is in MVP conversations. Might have an MVP under his belt by the time you're watching this in a month or so.
Shout out to them.
S tier.
They got
Easy.
it.
Sam Darnold and JSN.
Okay, so I don't love Sam Darnold the same way that I would talk about Matthew Stafford. But man, Jason is hooping right now. So
Yeah.
how do we want to proceed with S?
Can the best wide receiver in the NFL carry a good quarterback to S tier?
How do we feel
so.
about because I mean Jason is on a historic pace.
Mhm.
This season, there hasn't been more than 10 quarterbacks better than Sam Darnold, so he's not bad by any means. And JSN is by far and away number one receiver on the board right now.
So
Mhm.
top 10 quarterback, best receiver in the league.
Sounds like S tier to me.
It's
S tier.
Sounds like they deserve it. It sounds like we're not going to do anything but put JSN at the top of every single ranking we do all year.
Yeah.
Okay, Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton. So
C tier.
middle tier quarterback, and in terms of wide receiver ones, probably middle tier.
Sounds like a middle tier.
Yeah.
That sounds like C
Sounds
tier.
like C. There
They
you go.
strike zero fear in my heart.
No,
They're
they
C
strike
tier.
a slight fear in your heart to get C. They strike just enough that they connect with one or two deep balls a game, might hurt you, but you're also not going into the game like they're going to single-handedly demolish my defense. Perfect C.
You're just
You don't take them lightly.
aware.
Yeah. You put your best cornerback on them, and you pay attention to Bo Nix's legs, and you say, if I give them too much opportunity, they can make me hurt, but they're not striking fear like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Next up, Drake May and Stephon Diggs.
A tier, I think.
Drake May is
You got-
obviously top 5 quarterback in the league this year. Stephon Diggs is better than you thought he'd be. Still not like dominant.
Yeah, but I think he's probably a slightly upper half receiver in this league. You got someone who might be an
I don't-
MVP.
I don't think if we go top 15, I don't think Stephon Diggs is still in that
No,
conversation.
not even close.
And so
He might be like top 17.
Nah.
no, I don't know. Drake May's playing so well right now, though.
He might be the MVP.
Drake May can carry them to B.
Not quite to A.
Nah, I think
Really?
if Stephon Diggs is legitimately your number one receiver,
Mm.
that's right now it's a
I could have
problem.
put Keyshawn Booty on here.
Okay, now we're having conversations because listen, the way he's been hooping,
Wow.
the way he's been playing, I kind of got to give it to him. And their connection is also not to say that like May and Diggs' connection is bad, but what we've seen and the chemistry between May and Keyshawn Booty, I do like that a little bit more.
Either way, I think they're going B. I think obviously the quarterback carries.
It's like bottom of A for me.
There's probably going to be some duos on here that we see that are very good at both that aren't quite S that I think would be A.
May might win MVP. That's the thing that I'm also kind
Sure,
of
but
like.
Yeah,
you're
half
right.
the equation.
You're right. Yeah, I think about it now. This receiving core, or whoever you want to call their wide receiver, when it just isn't adequate enough.
Drake May and Hunter Henry.
Ooh,
Come
yeah.
on.
I'm thinking B.
Yeah. Okay.
Next up, Justin Jefferson in 9.
F.
F tier. I'm so sorry. It feels sacrilegious to put Justin Jefferson in F tier in any duo, but this is literally two of the worst quarterbacks that we've ever seen in JJ McCarthy and Max Brosman.
And also, I know Justin Jefferson will continue to say the right things, will continue to be supportive to the media. You cannot convince me that Justin Jefferson does not hate this guy. And for sheer lack of, I doubt they get along, F tier.
He's soiling his prime, bruh. What do you mean? He fucking hates him.
If I go into Justin Jefferson's home, I promise you there is a wall with mad holes in it. He's punching the wall every single time.
And there's pictures of JJ and also fucking Max Brosman
With
now.
darts
Darts,
in it.
all over it.
Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. Welcome to D tier, buddies. Welcome to D tier.
You're fine.
I don't want to say any words about y'all.
Welcome to D tier. Justin Herbert and Lad McConkey.
Conky.
McConkey. Says every announcer ever.
Yeah.
You'll need to exaggerate the shit out of it.
Could they be A tier?
I think saying McConkey is like the equivalent of like if there was a like Mexican wide receiver and he was really fast, the
Like-
announcers would be like Sanchez, like they
Sanchez.
play it up.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
McConkey. They found the white version of that.
Just calling him Speedy Gonzalez. already.
Could they be A tier?
They certainly can.
I think they're probably like fine A tier.
Yeah, McConkey isn't having quite as dominant as a rookie year just because the target's a little more spread out now, but
Yeah.
still a top 15 to 20 wide receiver at worst.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert, obviously, tier 2 quarterback after the MVPs. Sounds like A tier
Yeah.
to me.
Let's do it.
Next up, Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf.
F. Fuck, man. Get this off of my screen. Don't put them on there, actually.
Yeah, look, for a couple moments, there was like, hey, maybe these two have two chemistry, but really it's Aaron Rodgers. He would have did that with anybody. He would have closed his eyes and threw the ball downfield.
DK has 3 games this season over 55 yards.
Yeah, that's F tier.
Probably D though. I don't know. I mean, I feel
Why?
like- 'cause-
Aaron Rodgers sucks.
because I think nothing on this list touches the depths of hell of 9, and I think he deserves his own tier.
Okay. I can live with that. I can live with that.
This is not an endorsement of Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf in any way. Do not get confused.
But now I feel like that's disrespectful to Lawrence and them.
No, it's
No,
not.
it is not. No, it is not. They suck right now.
Hell nah.
Aaron Rodgers is awful.
He is. Tua and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, that's D tier.
D tier as well.
Is it? Jalen Waddle has been
No,
pretty-
they've actually been.
Jalen
playing
Waddle's been
really
very good since Tyreek Hill went out. I think he showed he clearly still has capabilities if the targets are going to him.
Mm.
Tua hasn't, over the last 5 weeks or so, he hasn't been the worst quarterback in the league anymore like he was for the first half of the season. He's looking a little average now, which is obviously quite the step up from early season Tua.
Well, so we'll meet F tier and pretty solid. Put them in D tier.
Could they be in C tier?
I was
along
thinking
with
C.
Bo Nix?
I think it's honestly very similar to Bo Nix and Sutton. Obviously, the rest of the team around them is better, so those two are performing better. I think if they had the Broncos offensive line, Sean Payton, well, no, the coach is good too, but like if they had the offensive line and like a supporting defense so they don't have all the responsibility on their shoulders, I think that's probably exactly as good as each other.
I mean, if that happened, Tua would just throw one pick instead of two.
Like, I think Waddle is probably better than Cortland Sutton. And I think Bo Nix is, I guess, better than Tua, but like
Okay,
they're
put
in the
him in
same
C tier.
tier.
Put him in
They're in the
C-
same tier, aren't they?
Yeah.
I
I guess. Put
They're
them in
both
C
like
tier.
D tier quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're both like average starters. Like they're both fine.
Mm.
Well, at times Tua, so they've really
Yeah.
been testing that limit, but you know, it's not entirely his fault why the offense sucked.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes and Rashee Rice.
This is A tier.
Yeah, they can't be S anymore, right? There's no chance. Like, oh, low key, are they even A? With how, I mean, the offense still is good overall. Rashee Rice is a unique receiver. He's like a weapon that doesn't separate as like a route runner, but obviously
Yeah.
put the ball in his hands, good stuff happens. Mahomes is playing like was the best quarterback in the league still.
Yes, and so for that reason, I would still put him A. You saw Rashee Rice tweak his hamstring, still came back in and said, I can still provide for the team. I think that they're A tier.
Okay.
Okay.
Geno Smith and Trey Tucker.
F. Fuck, man.
Maybe they can be the only one that touches the territory of 9.
Yeah.
Do they deserve to be in Club 9?
Nothing is going good over there at all. Why do they
I
need
think they
to
might
be
deserve to
back?
be in Club 9.
They might
Club
actually no.
9
Trey
is
Tucker has
good.
had some. Trey Tucker has had more moments.
Fucking salute Trey Tucker. I don't care. Like it's Trey Tucker. Very good wide receiver 2. Very good wide receiver 3. Like it's Trey Tucker.
Think about how bad Geno Smith has been, and then go 2 levels below that.
That's 9.
That's 9.
Okay, D tier it is. We'll keep Club 9 exclusive.
Okay.
Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow.
I
Came
thought
back.
you were gonna say Joe Flacco.
Nope.
A.
S.
S.
S tier.
Yeah, my only played 1 week since coming back from the injury.
Yeah.
They're still Burrow and Flacco. They immediately picked up where they left off, looked dominant, beat the Ravens.
I thought you guys wanted to wait to see more, but I guess you're giving them
Nah, I've seen
respect
it, I've seen it
factor.
for years. I've seen enough. Bryce Young and Ted McMillan.
It depends on what week Bryce Young is in.
I need the weak. I need the down in distance. And I need to
Fourth
know,
down, Bryce Young.
A tier.
A. Fuck A. It's
Yeah,
S.
A tier.
Fourth down, Bryce Young, S tier. We'll even it out overall. C? Or, yeah, probably C. The guys in D are kind of dysfunctional.
Yeah.
So I feel like C is probably like where you put the like productive, they're good enough, or they're not carrying their offense anywhere.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You can quibble with who's actually the best of this tier, but none of these trios here, none of these duos here are like lifting their team.
Mhm.
But they're good. Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin in a
Damn.
season completely lost of injury, pretty much.
Haven't seen them connect too many times at all this year, bruh.
Season's pretty much cooked, but we know what they
Yeah.
did last year. We know what they'll probably do when they're healthy. What do we do with that?
That's last year though.
You need some projection.
Do you feel comfortable putting them in B?
No, I think right now
Maybe
they've.
you reach.
I think right now they've probably fallen back to C tier.
Got to earn the way back to B.
Yeah, they do, especially because I mean, even Terry, whenever he came back, had a kind of a slow start. You know, he missed training camp. He's
Mhm.
going to be another year older next year. Yeah, we have to see it again.
Okay, you're on probation. You're in C. Obviously, last year you'd have earned yourself a position in A with the bare minimum B, but with this last year, prove it to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't even see what I've left. Oh, AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts.
They've been cooking, and I will
Cooking
say,
what?
I know y'all saw the
A
clip
poo-poo
of them.
pie? What are they cooking?
I
Please tell
know.
me.
I know you
Poo-poo
saw
platter?
the clip.
What are they cooking?
I know you saw the clip of them high fiving after the
Oh, yeah.
after the touchdown.
Yeah.
They're friends again, guys.
Yeah,
my,
for now. For
my
now.
family's healed.
Until next week when AJ Brown has 3 targets again and he wants to kill Jalen Hurts. And he's back in the media calling him a cornball to reporters.
That was so fugazi. Oh my goodness.
B? Nah, B generous. The offense they lead is
They
god awful.
It's not their
They
fault
who-
though.
When he throws him
It's
the
not their
ball-
fault. Whose fault is it?
Yeah.
when they throw him the ball, it's successful.
Okay, so they're the best. Their connection is the best part of an offense. That in totality is bullshit, but they're the like best part of the bullshit.
Yeah.
I guess they deserve B off reputation, but that's generous.
I guess we could put
I
him
mean, they
B.
just want. Yeah, we're going B.
Yeah, well, that's last year you said.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I stopped.
Yeah, I guess we'll go B just because they're so good. But
Come
man,
summertime, we're putting him in C, though.
the production this year and where the offense is led, being built off of that is not great, but we know how good they are.
Mhm.
Last
That's
one,
it. Hand me an egg right now.
I
I can't stand this.
Hooligans.
what is the last one? I can't even see that.
Is that
picture.
the Lions?
Oh, Dak Prescott and George Pickens.
All right, they're
Man.
playing at the top of the league. Just put them in Essex.
Put 'em in Essex.
These
season,
guys
man.
are filthy.
Damn, CD, that's crazy, bro.
Chain snatched.
But yeah, if CD wanted to catch passes. He
Yeah.
could be in this.
We've like progressed past chains being snatched. I don't even know what's after that.
He's like made a new chain.
Mm.
He's taken his chain, melted it down, and made a new one for himself.
He might take his name. CD might have to change his name.
What they should do is
All right.
hand that 88 over.
That's
Yep.
all I was about to say.
88 snatched.
And you put that 88 on Pickens.
Yep.
That's a,
Okay.
that's a real playmaker.
And this is our tier list. Is there anything that needs to be tweaked?
I feel comfortable with this.
I think this is kind of cut and dry. I think.
Yeah, maybe should we put the Eagles down?
Whatever. I'm tired of talking about the Eagles.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
He said I'm tired of it too.
Damn.
You're tired of knowing the Eagles exist.
9 is all alone.
Bro, just hop off tip and like keep it moving. Like we're good.
Next thing we're gonna do. Oh, first I got a burp.
Nasty.
Ew.
It was a calm, polite burp. It wasn't even nasty. You didn't even hear
Yeah,
it.
burp like a man. Why you gotta make
Oh, you
it
wanna
calm,
belch?
polite, and cute? Yeah.
Excuse me for being considerate to the audio listeners, unlike
Nah,
someone.
man. Cares, bro? Yo, burp.
Next thing we're gonna do. I'm gonna name 2 NFL teams. You tell me who you think has the brighter future.
All right.
If you were taking over a team, if everybody's job opening was there for a GM, which team would you want to take over? Or be a fan of, however you want to think about it. First off, Bears or Commanders? Who is set up better?
Because I have that psychopath as a head coach, I'm taking the Chicago Bears.
Yep, I'm taking the Bears. They got the better wide receiver room. They got the better head coach. Defense is of course dicey, but who cares? Because the guys at the Commanders, they're all old. They're all about to retire.
Yeah.
Have you seen Bobby Wagner try to chase down receivers? It's so painfully hilarious.
Yeah, Ben Johnson is one thing that's a good deciding factor.
Yeah.
The Bears have good players under the age of 30. Give me
Exactly.
the Bears. Their future is so much brighter.
Exactly. I would love to go with the situation that had the better quarterback, but everything else with the Bears is feeling very, very good right now.
Yeah, I feel better about Caleb maybe getting to Jaden Daniels level than I do the rest of that roster getting to the Bears level long term.
Yeah.
Next up, Steelers or Dolphins? Who would you rather be? I'm sure you'd be very
Ooh.
excited to be a fan of both these teams.
I think I'd rather watch cricket. Neither.
Crickets.
I'd rather explore other activities.
Can you name a single term from cricket?
Not at all. Not a singular one.
Oh, man.
I think the Steelers have better jerseys, so I'll go with the Steelers.
I think Miami has better jerseys, actually.
They're just colorful.
I think I'd rather be a Dolphins fan at the end of the day because their weapons are better, more fun. It's more fun. Yeah.
Tyreek ripped his knee out, so it's like that's
Jalen
not-
Waddle and A-Chain are way more fun than anything the Steelers have to offer.
Yeah, you think I love Darnell Washington, but bro, he got a couple plays in him a game.
I don't know who the Steelers quarterback is going to be next year. I don't know who their head coach is going to be next year. I don't know who their best defensive player is going to be next year.
That's what I'm saying. Clean slate.
Sure, maybe.
No.
Clean slate. If I was a GM, also I'm going with the Steelers because I know I have like 10 years to get this right. I have
Sir.
job security.
No, you said clean
You know
slate, but you're just moving into a different room on a burning house. You're not clean.
Both these teams have to rebuild. I'll say the Steelers have the brighter future because they have organizational stability, and they'll probably figure it out before the Dolphins can.
Exactly.
So even if they tear it down, I bet they'll get back to the pinnacle quicker.
And that's why I'm taking them. The Dolphins they're always down.
Yep. Patriots versus Seahawks.
I'm taking the Patriots.
Patriots.
They have Drake May, probably the best young quarterback in the league to build around. The Seahawks roster is goddamn stacked.
That defense is insanity.
The amount of star power they have on all levels of the defense, plus JSN offensively, and a quarterback that I think will be a good starter for at least the next 5 years. Like they're pretty stable.
Yeah, he's okay.
Better coach, I think.
Okay, yeah, potentially. Until I call up the Seahawks, I say, here's 2 first-round picks. Here's 2 more picks. I'll take JSN. Now I just pair JSN with Drake. Man, I'm up.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh.
We're playing Madden. You know what I'm saying? This is what it's about.
If we think Drake May is the next superstar MVP quarterback, history says go with that guy and just build
Exactly.
around him for the next 10 years. Everything else around him will change year over year. it's pretty stable to have an MVP.
Exactly. I see defenses get dismantled year by year every single time. And it happened to you specifically this year. And I'd rather have the young quarterback on my team every single time.
It was one bad game. Like, the defense was hooping.
I don't care, man.
The defense is fine. Offense is where you should have angled that.
Yeah.
And you know what? A guy like Drake May can deal with his offensive line not playing so great. Can
No
deal with the
offensive-
running back falling off after a lot of touches. Maybe not a guy like Jalen Hurts, which is a guy like Sam Darnold. So we're going with the Patriots. Does it bother you that Jalen Hurts is much closer to Sam Darnold than he is Drake May?
Brother, what's the next slide? What did I tell y'all?
I'm glad you
It's
asked.
unwarranted
I'm glad you
slander.
asked. Eagles versus Cowboys. Who has the brighter future?
I don't know who would I rather be a fan of.
I mean, it's clearly us.
The Cowboys have picks. They have a revitalized defense of Quentin Williams. They're the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. Better quarterback.
Yeah, but bro, they got a long hill to climb up from.
Better offensive coordinator.
You're right.
Offensive line low-key playing better.
You're right. At this point in time, I think I still roll with the Eagles.
And then multiple first-round picks in this coming draft.
I gotta roll with the Eagles, bro. Their history, their team history, talk about stability, talk about just unnecessary drama. Yeah, no, I don't want to stay on that side. Put me in Philadelphia.
Good choice.
Good choice.
Good choice.
Next up, Packers versus Chiefs.
Packers.
What?
Packers at this point, I think.
I'm thinking about who's the better future. Like when we say future, next like who will be better 5 years from now? Like who would be more stable?
I'm still taking the Chiefs. I'm very happy that Jordan Love, that there is a point in every year where he can turn into Patrick Mahomes once we get to Toyota. But Patrick Mahomes is like that. And if we have, you said it in the other one. A lot of times when you have like an MVP caliber quarterback, what if I just have the greatest quarterback of all time?
Yep.
I'm gonna pick Patrick Mahomes on my team, and I'm gonna rock out.
And some people are going to say Mahomes isn't playing at that level anymore. Whatever. I think they obviously need a retooling. They need some new offensive minds in the door with a new coordinator to revitalize Andy Reid's system. They need a new reconfiguration of the weapons and everything around the defense. I'm going to take that bet. Give me Patrick Mahomes.
You're right, but I'd rather be seen on the streets rocking Packer swag versus Chiefs swag. I don't want to own a Chiefs jersey. I don't want to own a Chiefs hat or nothing like that.
You're not a Chiefs
Like
head.
Green Bay though, I'll be a Chiefs head for a day for sure.
Ravens versus Bills. Which team with the MVP quarterback is going to be better for the next 5 years?
Which will lead me to spiraling depression slower.
I think I'd probably. I feel like Josh Allen might age better. I feel that he might be more stable long term.
I don't know.
Okay, so I don't hate that.
But both rosters have really atrophied. Both need some retooling.
Yes, I'll take Lamar.
The Ravens have more. They have like Kyle Hamilton and like some other young stars that the Bills don't have.
Especially on defense, and even with the Bills, like if the Bills don't get it done this year, and I understand what's going on with their roster, but their coach is about to not be here. Honestly, you could low-key say the same thing for the Ravens.
Yeah, both these teams
Yeah,
have a new
both
coach
too.
in a couple of years, and that's fine.
I think I'd rather be a Ravens fan probably.
I'll take Lamar. I would rather
Yeah.
build around. Actually, no. I'm gonna look at this as who I want to be a fan of. I want to be a fan of the Ravens more than the Bills.
Okay, I don't know if it's the same thing as who has a brighter future, but okay.
Yes, I want to be a fan of them because I think that they have a
They
bright
just have
future.
better pieces.
Okay,
Outside
they have a
the
little bit more
quarterbacks,
star
yeah.
power outside their quarterback. That
Yeah.
even if you have to retool the roster, we can deal with that when you have a genius level defender like Kyle Hamilton on that side. And Matt BK and some other good young guys. We'll see what Wiggins becomes, Starks, etc. I don't know if I'm listening. If I'm trying to do that exercise with the Bills, I'm saying James Cook, their offensive lineman, and that's about it.
Khalil
And then we're
Shakir,
done.
you can rest.
I can't be in the building every day with these safeties.
Yeah, I can't do it either. Panthers or Falcons?
I never want to be associated with the Falcons whatsoever. I will take the Panthers.
I don't know if I'm thrilled to be associated with the Panthers either.
No, but the Falcons are much worse.
Yeah, I mean, future. So the Falcons have their young stars offensively. Penix is really what you think about Penix is really the decision here. If you think they have their quarterback, I think that they have a foundation to build off
I
of.
cannot watch my team go ahead and trade up for a guy just to watch them that whole plan fail, fumble in front of your eyes, and then you're giving a team a potential top 10 pick. I'm not
Yeah,
doing
but like
that.
Jalen Walker, Watts, and Pierce might be like a foundational defensive trio for years.
You are trying to put your faith in the Atlanta Falcons.
All right, we're going with the Panthers.
Rico Dotto, I'm going towards your side, buddy.
We're betting on Bryce Young.
The Panthers are having generational link-ups. We've seen Cam Newton smiling at
Yeah.
Bryce Young doing the dab in the locker room.
Yeah.
That means something.
Okay. Jets versus Giants. Who has the brighter future in New York?
It's never the Jets.
just straight up across history.
It's never them.
It never will be.
Jets
No.
for what? Why would I be a Jets fan?
Well, they have a lot of first round picks now. I'm selling high on Quinn Williams and Sauce Gardner. A lot of
What
bites
do
the apple.
they
I'd-
fumble draft picks all
They'll
the
draft
time.
a quarterback this year. Maybe he'll be good. I don't know.
I'd rather move to a third world country and raise alpacas than be a Jets fan, bro.
What the fuck?
Like, I'd rather do the most random shit,
You can
bro.
get bread like that.
Yes, bro. I'd rather.
It's a booming industry.
It is
Yeah, bro. For
growing,
real.
honestly.
Okay. We can go
Yeah.
to El Salvador. We can get some alpacas going.
Yeah, bro. I'd rather just move to a cheese manufacturing company than do anything with the New York Jets. Why? What have they done? Nothing.
Yeah, I'll make bricks for a living before I root for the Jets.
I'll
The Jets
drill
have-
oil, bro, before I be a Jets fan.
Good money.
Yeah, I guess with the Giants, they have an elite defensive line that should be good for some more years. They have a
True.
quarterback they're confident in. They have an elite wide receiver one. That's something to build around. Browns versus Texans.
Ooh, man.
Once again, it's never the Browns.
Never will be.
It's never the Browns. It's very rarely. Even whenever I watch the Browns, I feel like every Browns game that I see on TV, the sun is never shining.
You know what's kind of funny? I watch the Browns and I say they have their flaws. Their offensive line stinks. They need to get their secondary. They need to probably draft a good secondary member in this coming draft. The wide receiver room isn't good. But I look across the roster and I say, man, if they get the quarterback figured out, they have some pieces.
They got a foundation. You're right.
I've said that for the last 20 years of being an NFL
Exactly.
fan. They're always a quarterback away. They always will be. Myles Garrett's going to waste his time there forever. Shout out Mason Graham. Shout out Judkins. Shout out Fan. And all these promising young players will never matter because they'll never have a good quarterback.
I will gladly be a Texans fan.
Easily the brighter future. No matter what we think of their quarterback situation, and if we had to reevaluate his ceiling, still going with the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Titans versus Raiders. The worst roster in the league versus the second worst roster in the league, maybe. But
See,
they got
this
Brock
is-
Bowers and one of the best defensive linemen in the league.
This is so hard because
Genty.
So the Titans are in a year in and year out weak division.
Yes.
So you can be up if you get everything together, but they're normally not up like that.
They're normally not up.
And then you have the Raiders who are consistently down.
Mm.
But you have Tom Brady as your owner.
That doesn't
You
mean
do.
shit to me.
The Raiders have more stars. The Titans are a complete blank slate. They have Cam Ward, who we think can be good, and Jeffrey Simmons. Outside of that, they have the least talent-rich roster in the NFL.
And I'm taking the Titans. Why? Because I got no expectations, nothing but hope and youth by my side.
I can go to Nashville. I could be down there.
Okay. I wouldn't want to live in Las Vegas.
Hell nah.
It's hot. It's too hot.
Yeah, I'm
That's
being
too
the
much.
Titans.
Cardinals versus Vikings. Now, the Vikings have everything going for them besides a quarterback. Cardinals are in free fall right now. Really have to figure out their new identity this summer.
This is pretty easily the Vikings.
Is it?
Yes.
Mhm.
The Cardinals. The Cardinals are also a team that has never had a bright future. And historically are one of the worst franchises ever. I think that right now, when you look at the Vikings, I can make one call. I'll ship 9 out of here. We can reconfigure this whole thing and we can be right back up next year. They can be on a path to competency much faster than what the Cardinals can be.
Here's the thing. They could trade for the Cardinals quarterback and win the division instantly next year. If they
Oh
trade for
my
Kyler Murray and give them
9. I'll give you 9 and Max Brosman.
take them
I'll
both
give you both of them.
today
Goddamn.
only.
God
2
damn.
quarterbacks for the price of one. Take it or leave it.
Because really,
Yeah,
we
you're
don't like
going
our
to jail.
quarterbacks. You don't like yours. Let's just trade.
Let's link and build.
Let's trade.
You're
We can get
going-
to 10,000.
To jail.
We can
man.
do that today.
I'm calling the Minnesota
Who
police
says no?
immediately.
Yeah, I'm going with the Vikings. I'm
I'll
confident.
throw in Josh Dobbs too. We'll
my
sign
gosh.
him and we'll trade him.
You
to
want
you
Carson
guys.
Wentz? He's available.
Oh my
A 3
gosh.
for 1?
Oh, you can't get much better than that.
Have you played fantasy football before? Do you know that these are the types of deals that you should be
Have
making?
you ever heard of value, moron? Like, take
I'm
the deal.
escaping the league immediately, y'all. That's what this means.
And that's the last one.
That's funny.
Next thing we are going to do, I'm going to rank to you the 10 worst moves of the 2025 NFL offseason.
Okay.
I got 10 moves here that were unambiguous failures. You let me know what you think of my rankings here. If somebody should be higher, somebody should be lower. Maybe I forgot somebody. You tell me. First off, number 10, the Justin Fields contract.
I don't feel like this is one of the 10 worst things.
It's barely on the list because, listen, excellent tank commander. They're going to be in a good spot to get a new quarterback. They can get out the money next year. It won't be the biggest deal in the world. But, you did give him a 2-year contract. It is some wasted money.
A little
I
bit,
guess.
but
It was also like at the time, it was like, damn, that's the next guy we're taking a bet on. Like it was kind of obvious.
You pay the premium because you need somebody to secure your tank.
Okay.
And I think that
You pay the premium to be ass? No, man. That's terrible brain trust.
In the first 5 weeks of the season, I can understand this. Once you trade Sauce and you trade Quinnen and you make it very clear that you are tanking, there's nobody that I want.
Well,
by
here's
my
the thing:
side.
they benched him though, so they don't even really believe in the tank commander.
He'll be back next year, and it's a 1-year deal. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's why he barely made the list. Ultimately, it's not consequential. It won't stop them in their future. They needed to be bad anyways. Now they'll draft a good quarterback in this coming draft, most likely. So barely scratched the list. Once we get to like 7, we get into real consequences. But these first few, they'll be all right.
It's the start of something.
What happened?
This is also a genius level move from Aaron Glenn.
Okay.
Because even the owner recognizes what's the coach supposed to do if
not my fault.
if the QB play. He got himself another year.
Built-in scapegoat.
This is a scapegoat. You're right. Okay.
The Vikings trading for Adam Thielen, essentially trading a 4th round pick for a receiver that was ancient and did absolutely nothing for them before being cut.
Now, hindsight, I see this trade happening and I'm like, okay, this is a good feel-good story. He's been there, put up multiple 1,000-yard seasons. He's their guy, franchise guy. Just, someone who's supposed to be around this organization. But man, oh man.
It's just horrible value. They just pissed away a 4th round pick, which you can't afford to do when you're going to have to find a new quarterback most likely, and you're going to need all the draft assets you can. Wasting a 4th round pick here, unbelievably bad.
Yeah, you could have used that pick to attach to J.J. McCarthy to trade him away.
Exactly. You're going to have to put together some picks, probably your top ones, if you want to like draft somebody. You're going to need to hit those 4th round picks for depth to actually make up for losing 1st round picks potentially. This was bad. This is going to bite them.
That's smart.
Number 8, the Chiefs trading Joe Tooney to potentially to free up money to sign George Karlaftis and Nick Bolton.
Yeah, this is tough because you pay these guys and your defense is not one of the top of the league, and everybody kind of understood like there's a lot of money for Karlaftis and Bolton. You put a lot of faith into Josh Simmons. You put a lot of faith into Mahomes, and a lot of times that works. But also, we've seen the Chiefs have issues with their offensive line. You lost the Super Bowl because you got destroyed in the trenches, and you said, "Yeah, let's trade our trench."
Yeah, and I get it. It was an age thing. They wanted to reconfigure their timeline. Sometimes you can go too far in on paying your young guys and keep them around. You didn't need to give George Karlaftis all that money. He's squarely fine. Yeah, slight overpay. Not the biggest deal in the world, but they are missing Joe Tooney's presence on the interior.
You messed up the fan favorite because now everybody sees George Karlaftis and just thinks, "Dang, dude, like we paid you so much money. Why are you not getting these sacks?"
Yep. So again, this is the last one. These bottom 3 aren't hugely consequential, but they were mistakes that we look back on now and say they shouldn't have done that.
I could see this edging to the top, maybe 7 or so, but because you're wasting away one of the GOAT's prime, so it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I think number 7, if I remember correctly, this is when we get serious. This is when we get into big fuck ups. Number 7, trading for Geno Smith and extending him, paying him good money.
You threw away a whole entire year of your franchise.
You did. You threw away the first year of Pete Carroll. There's no foundation there to build on. There's bigger problems than Geno Smith for this team. He's not the reason they're bad per se, but he doesn't do a damn thing to help. When you give up, I think was it a 3rd round pick or was it a 2nd round pick?
It might have been the 3rd.
When you give up a top 100 pick to bring in a quarterback to fix everything, and he doesn't do that, it's a problem.
Yes, but give him another chance, please.
Maybe he'll get that. But so far, it's aging poorly. They could have pursued like Sam Darnold maybe, and given him a big bag. They would have been in a much better place.
I think the fact, he's so lucky that they fired their OC. Chip Kelly will be the scapegoat. Gino, you better lock in this offseason.
Yeah. So he still has a chance to make this one recouped the value, but it's not starting great. And also, like, everybody, like, we were high on it. We're like, okay, great. That's a good floor raiser. That makes you more confidence. Maybe we should have paid more attention to the fact that he's hitting an age cliff, that he's getting old. I think we all kind of put that in the back of our heads because he's only been good for 3 years. So we kind of forgot, oh my God, he's 35. Maybe they should have seen that coming.
Damn.
Number 6, the Steelers replacing George Pickens with DK Metcalf. A more expensive, worst wide receiver.
A lot of Steelers fans are going to see this and they're going to try to defend it because Pickens was a head case and they had to get rid of him regardless because it just wasn't going to work.
But no, they didn't.
DK? Damn.
We all say that and we all agree that. We're just accepting their terms. They could have just thrown the ball and figured out how to maximize them. They don't have to make a good wide receiver think he's crazy. They could just be normal and maximize his prime and like give him the ball and extract value from George Pickens.
Boy, do I know.
They didn't have to gaslight George Pickens.
Boy, do I know.
They didn't have to force him to be a diva.
Yeah, I mean, this is the definition of bad value.
Yeah, just complete downgrade. And they paid him, and like, shout out DK, he's fine. I would have liked to have both of them. You could have had both. You didn't have to trade George Pickens.
What does both have? Yeah, never mind.
You could have just had him as wide receiver too. Like, obviously, you got to reconfigure some things, but like, there's no scenario where they win by getting rid of George Pickens. That they've lost that long-term bet.
Yeah.
Number 5, the Falcons trading their first-round pick this year, giving the Rams a top 10 pick in the draft. Maybe after coming off a Super Bowl win, if they fulfill their potential, you allow them to have a crazy return.
Yeah, this is definitely a top 5 mistake in the NFL right now. The Rams might have there's a world where the Rams win the Super Bowl and are drafting in the top 5 next year.
That's fucking hilarious.
Malpractice.
And listen, maybe James Pierce ends up being really good. Maybe. Nevertheless, we had to go off of the principle of the moves you made and talk about the process. In the moment, we all said, God damn, they gave up too much. That was crazy. I saw that come across a ticker that they gave up multiple picks and move up in the first round. And I said, holy shit, that's foolish.
In order for this to work out, like, these guys have to be generational.
Yeah, you just got to hope
those
that
are the
James Pierce Jr.
expectations.
is the next star.
Another scenario. The Rams win the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford. I'm going to retire. I'm going out on a high note. You take the number 4 overall pick. You trade it to the Bengals. You get Joe Burrow. You complete the fantasy that everybody has been talking about, and then you keep moving.
Yep. Man. Super possible at this point.
The poor get poor.
Number 4, the Eagles hiring Kevin Patullo and not doing a proper search to find an OC. They've elected to stay in-house and let Nick Sirianni find a vessel to execute his vision, and his vision stinks like shit.
That scene from Interstellar where he's just yelling. He's just, no. I see the tweet all the time of the Eagles announcing them hiring Kevin Patullo, and I'm like, man, if they just knew. They just knew all the hurt and pain and suffering and annoyance that you were going to cause a major metropolitan area and Eagles fans across the world. I saw some video today that some dude, the caption was like, Eagles if they didn't hire Kevin Patullo. He was out in the snow doing snow angels. I haven't done a snow angel once since this man has come in here and ruined this offense. There's mad snow outside. Do you think I feel whimsical enough to do that? To toss snow up into the air? Hell no.
Damn.
Because this man and his philosophy has come in and ruined this franchise. Brother, we will have issues when I see this. I hate this. This should be top 3. You've ruined a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, but it's not his fault. It's Sirianni's fault. And he picked somebody that they could do his vision, and like he's a lame duck that doesn't have any impact. Top 3 are a little bit more single-handedly destructive, I think. Patullo is like the absence of an upgrade, and you let them do bad habits.
Well, let me see what number 3 is.
Number 3 is hiring Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly.
Oh, yeah, you already fired one of them.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you got it.
It's a dud. It's a dud.
You should have already fired Patullo, and then we could have went band for band.
Damn.
But hiring both of these guys definitely seem to be not the right picks. And there were already conversations in the offseason about like, hey, listen, I don't know, like, does Pete Carroll actually still have it? Or is he just an old guy with a very famous name? And we're seeing this team look like they have an old guy with a famous name and Chip Kelly who's already fired.
A lot of people thought that this team was supposed to be a couple of games before 5 or over 500 at this point in time.
Me.
Fell on your fucking face, man.
Yeah, this is a dud hiring. It feels like it might be a one and done. If it's not a one and done, it's purely out of respect for everything Pete Carroll has accomplished in his past life. Number 2, the Vikings let him Sam Darnold walk. Complete hindsight, obviously, they didn't want to give him a 3-year deal. That's their prerogative. Made sense to bet on the first-round pick. First-round pick is garbage, and you've wasted an entire season with a team that is in Super Bowl contention mode right now.
You talk about pain and suffering and annoyance. The Vikings have done that to everybody in Minnesota. Nine has done so much destruction to people's mental health.
The bodies he's left in his wake.
This is honestly the worst time to be a bad football player because the sun goes down early. You combine seasonal depression with bad quarterback play, it's getting spooky in Minnesota.
Ooh, man.
And then you walk outside, it's 10 degrees. I'd be furious.
Oh my God, you ain't got no QB. And then when you try to go ahead and turn off the TV or at least flip the channel, try to turn the basketball, you got no PG too. Damn, you're cooking all around.
This is a 14-win team that single-handedly is going to miss the playoffs because of one position.
Yeah.
Tough. Number 1, trading Michael Parsons. Has to be up there. No matter what. Long-term outlook. Never trade Michael Parsons. It was the most talked about deal of the year when it happened. it wouldn't be a mistakes list without listing the trade of Micah Parsons at the top.
Definitely a bad move. I think it would have flipped it. Sam Darnold thing is just too insane. You wasted a year of contention.
That's fair. You wasted a year with Sam Darnold. You wasted an era by trading Micah Parsons.
I guess
It could have been. From the craziest part is that listening to Jerry Jones, it could have been worse. Jerry Jones said, I offered Micah Parsons and a first for Quentin Williams. We're like, yo, what?
Yeah. Insane. Also, he's a fucking liar.
Yeah, no.
Either he's a liar or he's an old man and meant to say he offered that for Quentin Williams and a first and he messed it up. But yeah, I mean, obviously, there's not the 1 year impact as some of the other ones, but we'll be talking about this for the next 10 years.
Because
traded Reggie White.
If the Jets declined first round pick in Micah Parsons, that's worse than just trading Micah away. Right?
Yeah, that's true. The Jets need to fire everybody associated with their team.
Yeah.
Getting Micah and a pick for fucking Quentin Williams? Like, that would be insanity. Which is why I do not believe,
shout out Quentin, but like.
Yeah, which is why I do not believe Jerry Jones whatsoever, because nobody with the sane mind would say no to that.
He's just bringing himself up, bro.
He's just a liar. He's just straight up a fucking liar. Yeah, worst trade of the decade, single-handedly right here.
Okay. Decent list.
Okay.
I fuck with it.
And that's my top 10. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to play the 5-level game. I'm going to name 5 quarterbacks. You tell me who's better, them or 9. Level 1, J.J. McCarthy or Tyler Shuck?
It's never. J.J. McCarthy can't be the answer to better quarterback.
If Tyler Shuck was there, I guarantee you this is not the worst passing offense in the league.
Oof. Talk about it. Level 2, 9 or Justin Fields?
You're putting me in a tough spot here.
I think we've seen higher highs from Justin Fields. Actually, listen, week 1.
Man.
If I give him Kevin O'Connell,
We've never seen that from him.
We've never seen him. We've never seen him have a good loss to the Steelers.
This is uncomfortable, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Kevin O'Connell with those legs, that mobility.
Okay.
That brings an edge that 9 doesn't bring.
He's making something shake, I guess. Give me Justin Fields.
I'll go Justin Fields.
Justin Fields has at least one skill he's above average at, and that's running.
Yeah. Okay.
Level 3, 9 or Tyrod Taylor?
I will also take Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
Give me the security.
Yeah.
Tyrod.
Semi-stable, I'll take it.
Just also good dude. People like him. You don't get to be a journeyman in the NFL without people like
100%.
it, without people
Very
enjoying
true.
your vibes. I need Tyrod Taylor in the locker room.
Justin Jefferson would never slam his helmet because of a Tyrod Taylor play.
At all.
Too much respect for the man.
Yeah.
Level 4, 9 or Shadeur Sanders?
Wow.
I think I'll take Shadeur.
Let's have some fun, man.
I would take Shadeur.
Let's get some media attention. Let's drive some controversy. Let's get people talking about our team.
This is
Exactly. Yeah, let's just beat up. Like let's just do it.
Do you actually believe that?
I actually don't know.
Yeah.
Level 5, 9 or Russell Wilson in 2025?
Okay, I'll take 9.
What?
I'll take 9.
Why?
I
Give me Russ. Give me Russ.
I cannot stomach watching Russell Wilson in 2025.
He said, I lack the verbiage and the vocabulary to describe how much I hate Russell Wilson.
It's so bad.
It's worse than what 9's been doing?
We're going to give him the stamp being better than 9?
Nah, I can't do that.
I've seen one game where Russell
I'm
Wilson
taking
threw for 400 yards. Have you ever seen 9 throw for 400 yards?
I don't care.
Have you ever seen 9 throw for 400 yards?
It's not on tape.
We're picking Russell Wilson. We're building around him rather than JJ
Building
McCarthy.
around.
For 1 year only. Yes.
This man threw out of bounds on 4th and goal.
I can't even tell you what the 9 did because who remembers a single play of his career?
He ran over the Bears in week 1.
He had
Week
2
1.
throws in the 4th quarter.
Nice.
Next thing we're going to do, I'm going to name you 5 NBA teams.
And then he got hurt.
NBA. I'm going to name you 5 NFL teams that are currently not in the playoffs. And I want you to tell me if you think they have the ability to make a shocking playoff run.
Okay.
Team number 1, Steelers.
Hell no.
No,
Hell
not at all.
No, even if Aaron Rodgers was good, we'd still look at them and say, yeah, you're probably going to get first rounded, buddy.
They have a 30% playoff possibility per NFL.com.
I'm surprised they're still in the race.
You're betting on the 70%? They're not getting it?
They are not getting it.
Okay. What would have to happen? Like, is there any part of you that
Lamar
says
has to get hurt again.
Okay.
So there's nothing in their control. Okay.
Nothing they can do to prove to you they're a quality team.
No. They're either going to go 3-2 or 2-3. 8-9 potentially might win this division. It really comes down to are the Ravens going to do their part?
Okay. Chiefs currently have a 33% chance of making the playoffs for NFL.com.
I could see it happening, sadly.
They have to win out.
I understand that.
Is there a non-zero chance they win out and take one of those wild card spots?
The Chiefs are winning 8 games in a row.
Going all the way.
8 games in a row.
8 games in a row. I can guarantee they will be in the AFC Championship game.
Oh my God. And you know what? It's
not crazy.
Right.
It's not crazy.
It's not ridiculous.
What type of black magic is this?
The Patrick Mahomes kind.
Jeez.
But I do think they are gonna run the table.
They can make a shocking playoff run and get there, so we'll give them a yes.
Mm.
Team number 3, the Houston Texans. Can they do the same?
Yes. Their defense.
Yes.
They just emerged as one of the best defenses in the NFL, bro. CJ Stroud's gonna eventually come back. Yeah, I think
they're only one game out of winning their division right now.
Yeah.
Their offensive line is playing better than the worst in the league. They found some new configurations with their players, moving somebody else to left tackle. It's passable now. The defense is dominant. CJ Stroud is back. They can do it.
Yes, they definitely have the ability to.
Dallas Cowboys. Can they win the NFC East?
It's tough.
Can they win out while the Eagles collapse?
They basically have to win every single game while the Eagles lose a lot of games too.
Yep, they really have to prevent the Eagles' downfall and hope there's an internal mutiny and it's the biggest collapse we've ever seen.
Listen, man, it might happen.
Nothing's off the table.
It's on the board. I wouldn't bet on it, but
Doctor Strange has certainly seen a possibility in which the Eagles lose 4
and
in a
it's
row.
more than one universe where
it's a lot of them. It's about 45% of them.
Damn. It's a lot.
I'll say no, just because it would take a lot for that to happen. We'll give the Cowboys a no, but listen, man, the Eagles are one more loss away from me changing my mind.
Okay.
Lions.
Yeah, they're making the playoffs.
Yeah, they can. They still have a couple games against division opponents. You can still make up some of the ground. You're 7-5, couple games away. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can.
I believe in Dan Campbell.
Please.
Last thing we're going to do. I'm going to name 2 NFL teams by adding one player to that team who will be better. So yeah, 2 different teams where we add a different person to each one. First off, the Eagles with Matthew Stafford or the Patriots with Jamar Chase?
The Eagles with Matthew Stafford. I didn't even hear the second half, bro. The Eagles with Matthew Stafford. This is a Super Bowl
So
fucking
go from
winner.
Hurts to Stafford or from Booty to Chase. What's the bigger upgrade?
You're a nasty guy. I hate you so much.
What's the
Man.
bigger upgrade? What makes
you
your team
so
more
much.
likely to win a Super Bowl? Probably Hurts to Stafford.
Dude, that's an insane leap. You're going from what?
No,
the
it's probably
20th best
Jamar.
quarterback.
Imagine
in
how
the
happy
league
AJ Brown would be if Stafford was feeding him.
Oh my God, he's putting up 2K.
Bro, there'd be unicorns outside. The sky would be bright. We'd all be happy, clear skin,
Saquon's legs
hydrated.
would be working again.
There's the future out there.
Oh my
AJ Brown
God.
would never
They
complain.
still can't. All right. It's Jamar.
It's Eagles with Stafford.
It's the
It's
Eagles
Jamar.
with Stafford.
The Eagles with Stafford walked to the Super Bowl.
Ooh, man, that's insane.
They crawl there. It'd be so easy. They
Yeah.
wouldn't even have to look up.
Eagles with Stafford.
Let me see what Matthew Stafford looks like without McVay there.
Come on.
Nah.
Come on.
I mean,
Come
yeah,
on.
What do you mean? Come on, we saw it for a decade.
he wasn't
Come
exactly.
on.
He
That's-
wasn't exactly the problem. I mean,
Yeah, he was with yeah.
You guys are talking about walking to a. We're talking about firing the coach.
the Cowboys with Micah Parsons or the Vikings with Sam Darnold.
The Vikings with Sam Darnold.
Just another 14-win season.
Yeah.
Well, now okay. So in this situation, do the Cowboys have Micah and Quinnen?
Yes. Let's say that.
All right, never mind then.
Mm.
Never mind,
That's
because that's
different.
dangerous.
That'd be fucking
That's
filthy.
That's
different.
disgusting.
That's
I just
insane.
got mad
That's
uncomfortable,
disgusting.
man.
And then they still have Pickens and CD.
That's scary. All right, in that
They got
case,
it.
in
They
that
got it.
case, the Cowboys would be better.
Would they be in
Yeah.
the Super Bowl?
I don't know about the
It might
Super
be.
Bowl.
They might be. That secondary is still dog shit, but
Yeah.
listen, Micah and Quinnen moves mountains.
Jesus, man, that's nasty.
Having the best defensive line duo and the best wide receiver duo with a great quarterback moves mountains.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Steelers with George Pickens or Commanders with Bijan?
Commanders of beach.
I don't know. I mean, everybody else on that team is still, ancient.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the Commanders would be John
What would even happen if Pickens was there? He'd just still be mad. He'd still be getting 900 yards, pissed.
around week
900 yards.
Yeah.
Just irate.
Oh my goodness. I remember we had conversations years ago where I remember asking you if you thought that Ayuk was better than George Pickens, and you were like, "Yeah, Brandon Ayuk is better."
He was better. Yeah.
And I was like, I think George Pickens is kind of like he's just in a bad situation. Those are the conversation that he was at, and now he's at the top of the league.
Hold on, let's not downplay 2 years ago Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk in 2023 was a demon.
He won George Pickens. He's not this version of George.
Oh,
Pickens.
surely not this version.
Yeah.
So we're going with Steelers or with
I'm
Commanders?
going with the Commanders.
We'll go with the Commanders.
Honestly, both these teams would still be mid.
Yeah, they're
They
not
wouldn't
changing
utilize these
legs
stars at all.
at all. But seeing young legs in the Commanders, okay, that's better. 2%
Yeah, I
better
guess.
watch.
We get one star that's under the age of 30.
Yeah.
There we go. The Chargers with Joe Alt and Slater or the Raiders with 2007 Tom Brady?
The Raiders with 2007 Tom Brady.
The Raiders with the GOAT or the Chargers with their healthy tackles?
They wouldn't be able to do anything.
Give me the Chargers, man.
Brady would be pissed. Brady would be killing his offensive linemen.
Yeah, I'm looking at the rate. You don't know what to do with all that. You don't know.
You can handle that. Brady's gonna
I
walk
think the
in.
Chargers.
Brady's gonna walk in and see DJ Glaze and be pissed. Or whatever his name is. Imagine giving Tom Brady Trey Tucker and
God.
Thornton as a rookie.
Mind you, they did. He still got to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
True.
Do you give him a good offensive line and those receivers? Ring.
The Chiefs with Tyreek Hill or the Broncos with prime Peyton Manning.
Oh my God.
Broncos of prime
Broncos.
Peyton Manning. They're disgusting.
That's just 2015 all over again.
This is the best team in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nasty. I'm taking the Broncos.
That's 2014.
Yeah.
That or 2013. I don't know. Before Peyton's squad was cooked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Magical season.
Yeah.
That's the best team in the league, man.
Yeah, it's the Broncos.
Cortland Sutton would look a lot like Demarius Thomas if Peyton Manning's throwing to him.
Oh my God.
Jesus, man.
And then last one, the Packers with Malik Neighbors or the Jaguars with prime Aaron Rodgers.
Jaguars of prime A-Rod.
If we give Liam Cohen the GOAT,
Crazy.
single season GOAT.
Taking the Jags. I'm taking the
I don't
Jags
trust the
without a
Jags
doubt.
for anything.
Even with prime A-Rod there.
Would he be upset at Brian Thomas Jr.?
Oh, yeah. Brian Thomas Jr. would be glued to the bench.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's prime A-Rod. He turned Parker Washington into an all-pro. That'd be
Yeah.
Jordy Nelson V2.
But the Packers with Malik Neighbors?
Pretty goddamn great.
Do you actually
Pretty
give
great.
them like a number one wide
Pretty
receiver like
great.
that?
I think I'm taking Aaron Rodgers.
I'm taking the Packers.
I'm going with the Jags. The Jags would be filthy. Liam Cohen's a genius. Give him Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers and never losing a game.
Yeah, great head coach, all-time quarterback. Give you like at least C receivers.
Brother, we're in December already. I have
True.
Toyota thoughts.
It is Toyota Love. Okay, maybe we'll go with the Packers.
I forgot about that.
And that is the end of this episode. If people are still here, what should they comment?
The tickler's on the loose.
Comment,
The
we're
tickler
tickling
is on the
tonsils.
loose.
And we'll see y'all next week. And next week, you guys in the comments better give us an update about how many tonsils you've tickled in the last week. And we'll see y'all next week.